Hello, kids. It's that time again. That's right. That's right. It's time for another episode.
It's
VTR.
time for another episode of Blue Tiger Revenge. I'm Robert Kennedy. Sorry.
Yeah, I am comic book creator Tag Galusha. This is Lord of Chaos, the background noise, the cosmic destroyer, Zorak, and with us is the man, the myth, the shaven king of beards himself.
It's
The
coming
man,
back.
It is coming back. You know what? We need to do time-lapse photos of you as it grows back and then put all those photos on a t-shirt and it'll just say King of Beard. You know what? We're going to do that. That's going to be
All right.
a design for this winter. But yeah, the man, the myth. Some people hate him, but we love him. Brian Bales. How's it going, Big Bri?
Oh, pretty good, man. It's going pretty good.
Yeah?
How about you? How about you?
It's going really good, man. Just
Yeah.
drawing, getting ready for Turkey Day, you know, the usual.
Oh, yeah.
Hanging out with the Man Panther. Look at
the Man Panther himself.
Dude, he's getting huge. Look at this.
That's a big cat, man.
He is big, right? Look at that.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
He's just swinging him around.
He loves it, dude. He's one of those big toms that you can just like, you know, just carry around. He fucking loves it. Anyways,
I tried to get Luna. She was not a fan when I had her in my lap, and then ran out of the room when I set her down. She was like, "Fuck you."
Well, I got to be honest. I'm fired up for tonight because this is going to be an epic episode. We have our first guest who's going to draw with me.
How you feeling about that?
A little nervous because we are having a man who right now is being, I have heard it quoted that he is one of the best comic artists working in the industry today. And he's very fast. Very fast.
Yeah.
He has a very like fun, spontaneous, organic style. And there's nothing fun or spontaneous about my style at all. So I'm really gonna have to like, you know, focus.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. And listen, Tiger Cubs, if you guys want more of cool creators coming in and drawing with Tad, like and subscribe to the show.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Like I said, I gotta be honest already, but I still have to be honest.
Yeah.
Killer lineup, man. We just had Dave on.
Yep.
Now we've got Jesse Lonergan. That's right. That's who we're talking about. Jesse Lonergan, fresh off DROME.
Yep.
He's got a new project coming from Dark Horse that we'll let him talk about. And then after that, it's just a murderer's row of coolness. So I don't know. It's gonna be a fun winter, man.
Yeah, so tune in, you guys.
But it's gonna be fun. I'm actually really pumped. We haven't been this excited, I think, for the podcast in a long time.
Yeah,
you know, not that we don't have fun doing what we do, but this was a good move. I'm really loving this transition.
And bringing in these cool guests, I mean, it only just elevates it, makes it more exciting for. No, I think not just for the listeners, but for us, you know, because I mean, talk to your dumbass like every day, so being able to like bring in new people is fun.
Randomly calling you, what are you doing right now? Well, I'm at work, sir. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, did you see this?
Yeah.
It's some fucking action figure.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, though, that new Donatello, was that from Mondo?
Mondo. Yep, they do it right, man.
I even showed it to Dr. Wife, and she was like, Brian's going to get that, right? And I was like, probably. She's like, he kind of asked about it. That's like his thing. And she goes, it's a giant waste of money, but it's very cool looking.
I mean, I don't disagree with either of the things that she said. So, I'll probably get it. I'm happy that they extended it's like a timed release. So you have till December 2nd to buy it. So I'm glad that they're doing it that way to where it's not just like a grab to get the first 200 or whatever before they sell out.
Because they were doing that for a while and it made it
Yeah.
so frustrating. I'm kind of glad that they've like extended things. You know,
Well, I mean, the way if they don't, then they're the ones who don't make the money off it. The flippers are the ones who make money off of it, you know? And
right?
so that gives me the opportunity to really be like, okay, let me run the numbers here and
Do you want
see
do
if
you want
this
me
is
to
really
send it?
something that I want to buy.
Do you want me to send the link to Nikki and be like, I think your big boy needs this for Christmas. He's been very good.
She would not buy that for me. She already bought me
What?
multiple Christmas presents, so
She wouldn't buy that for you?
no, she would buy that for me. But
What about the sword of the Highlander?
yes, yes. Now we're talking my language.
That would be sweet. That would be pretty sweet.
Dude, do you want to see something cool?
You bought the sword of the Highlander? What? Oh my god. They do exist.
I got them. I got the Highlander graphic novels. Looking forward to reading them.
That's gonna be we're gonna have to do like like a Highlander themed episode. I wonder if
Yeah,
there's we'll have to go through the book and see if there's anybody that I know who worked on those books,
yeah,
and then we'll see if we can get them to come on and talk about it and just talk
yes.
Highlander. I'm
Oh,
already getting an idea. I already have an email in mind.
okay,
Anyways,
perfect.
our guest is almost here. Is there any news that we need to cover before we jump into
Um,
drawing?
there is one, two things
Okay,
actually. Two
let's hear it.
things.
Let's hear it. Break it
Okay,
down. Break it down,
so
Big Brian.
thank you. So Paramount, as we know, the owners of Ninja Turtles, right?
Mhm.
They just announced there's good news and bad news, right? And the bad news is they are no longer making. They shelved the Last Ronin live action project, which, if I'm being honest, of course that bums me out, but it also, like, from a marketing standpoint, it kind of makes sense. I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles making your first live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles since those abysmal Michael Bay movies probably doesn't make sense for that to be an R-rated movie, right?
Also, I know turtles are, like, very well known, but the reason why they've been so successful generation after generation is they're constantly targeting new audiences, and I think if you go with that one, with Last Ronin, you're
You're targeting me and people like me.
yeah, yeah. Now, I still think they should do it, but
I think they will
we saw
eventually.
those. Yeah, probably, or at least an animated movie,
Yeah.
but I mean, we saw those concepts floating around, right? Remember of like Leo fighting the
Mhm,
Foot Clan? I don't
mhm.
know how you don't see that and be like, "Green light now, immediately." You know what I mean? Like, that looks
Yeah.
so good. Like,
Well, herein lies the good news. They did
okay.
greenlight a new live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, and it's gonna be produced by the same guy who did the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, which were very successful movies.
Yeah, but we
I
don't
haven't seen them.
let's not I don't care if they're financially successful.
No,
I
no,
want them
I'm
to be
talking
good
like they were
movies
greatly reviewed as good movies.
after the internet attacked him ferociously to get them to change. I like Ugly Sonic personally just because it was the weirdest thing the internet had
I
produced in
didn't
movie.
like Uglies. I like that
Well, that was the thing. Is like I
I like
liked it
they
for all
first
the
off,
wrong reasons.
they listened, though,
It's
and
true.
they were like, "You know what? You're right. Let's." So that gives me hope that if they try and put out some 7-foot abomination
Hulk
bulletproof
turtles. Hulk
dog
turtle.
shit, Hulk turtles, but we can bully them essentially and be like, "Listen, this
I
ain't it, man."
still I still wanna know why they approved that, like, why they thought that was a good idea.
I mean, who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows? They were trying to do something different, which on some level I understand. I
Yeah.
understand that on some level, but you
They
still
did
have
it
to
twice.
they did it twice. You still have to go with what keeps the turtles,
You know
right?
what's weird, though? They didn't
Why
take
are
that
you
big of a s
ninjas if you're 8 feet and fucking bulletproof? There's
okay.
no point of being a ninja.
You know what they did get right, though? Bebop and Rocksteady. Bebop I would have watched a
I would agree.
Bebop and
I agree.
Rocksteady movie. It just of them running around Manhattan would have been the greatest thing they'd done since sliced bread. It would have been
I
fantastic.
I I don't disagree. That second movie, there was good elements in it. and the
Yeah.
good elements were Bebop and Rocksteady. They were great in the movie, but
Yeah, and they looked the part too. Like, they
yep,
looked exactly how you expected them to look. They were
yeah,
what Tokar and Razor should have been,
yeah.
you know?
But at the end of the day, it wasn't enough, right? It wasn't enough to salvage that mess, those messes of movies. So
Speaking of turtles, Doctor Wife showed me something. She showed me this intro, and it was so hardcore, like, I thought I was like, "Oh, shit, I got a sweet new samurai show or movie for Brian and I to watch. This is gonna be epic." It was fucking T3, man. Ninja Turtles 3. I had
oh
no and
yeah.
then, like, I didn't know the intro was so
Oh,
awesome with the
dude,
red.
the intro goes hard, dude. Like,
Yeah!
yeah,
That's right, yeah, and
yeah,
then it, like, bump, 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 a bump, or whatever the music is,
yeah,
and I was like, "What?" And Erin goes, "Have
yeah,
you seen this?" I go, "Yeah, I saw that in the theater," and she goes, "Do you remember the intro being this good?" And I'm like, "No,
yeah. Dude,
no!"
the intro went hard. I'm not gonna lie. The intro went hard on that fucking movie.
Yeah,
So,
like, if imagine if they would have kept that theme of just the first 30 seconds of that film
oh yeah,
throughout the movie, it would have been the best Turtles in Time anything ever. It would have been
agreed,
epic. Oh,
agreed.
speaking of
Eh,
samurai, that show,
oh, dude,
what
Last
was it
Samurai
called?
Standing,
Oh
Last
my
Samurai Standing,
god,
fucking
so good.
phenomenal.
I wanna
Yeah,
read the book. I'm
yeah,
curious what the book is all about.
yeah. Same here.
All the characters were interesting and had depth, even the ones that, like, you see for, like, an episode and then they get
Right.
horribly s and
And
the
everything,
fights.
the fights were off the chain good. Everything
Yeah.
tied back, right? Everything tied back to the war.
Yeah.
It was so interesting. And then just the plot that was in it, and then the story behind why they're having that game. Because when you first start watching, you're like, oh, okay, they're doing like Squid Games in Japan. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, it's
But
like,
then
oh,
it
it's
was like, no, 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 no. That's not what it
shit.
is at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like one of these kinda hokey, like, samurai ninja movies, and it was not. It was
Yeah.
such a great
The only
surprise.
thing I'm pissed off about is that it's only 6 episodes. So how long are we gonna have to fucking wait until season 2?
I don't Japan doesn't mess around, man. They're probably filming it as we speak.
They better be. They better be. And then the other piece of news that I have that I know you. Oh, what's the cat doing? Trying to get out?
Knock
Oh, stop the
knocking sh
press.
knocking shit down.
Yep, yep.
It's fine. Background noise.
Meanwhile, you can see Luna over there just snoozing.
That wad of carcass.
Yeah, that's Luna. That's
Looks like a
Luna.
butterball turkey, baby.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Uh, so the second piece of news that I am really excited for, and you probably don't give a shit about it, but a- Amazon Prime has just greenlit a new Stargate TV show from,
Yeah,
but
we don't need more Star that's the one thing we need right now.
dude, it's
Star
been like 15 fucking years. You shut your mouth. Well,
How many
okay.
TV shows were there?
3,
It's not
3.
enough. You need more? You
Not
need more?
enough. And well, in the modern, you need a new one in the modern era, right? You just do. And the one thing that I'm excited about, well, there's a few things I'm excited about, is that they've got the showrunner is a writer who worked on SG1, Atlantis, and
Oh,
Universe. So
are they bringing back MacGyver and everybody?
we don't really know yet. It's going to be a
Oh,
new cast, but they were asked whether if they're going to be seeing old characters, and they were like very coy. They were like, give us some time on that, and
they will.
yeah, I
Who
mean,
was
of course you are.
who was the one guy that was in all 3 seasons, the big dude with the jaw? And he
Oh,
had the
Christopher
thing.
Judge.
Yeah, they gotta at least bring him back. He's been in
Do
all.
you know he played Kratos in the last 2 God of War games?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
The guy hasn't aged at all. He looks like he could
he looks
step
great.
right out of
So,
1998.
well, and the cool thing is it's not a reboot. It's just a new series set in that same universe. So where all
That's
that
what they
stuff,
need to do.
yeah,
Heck with the reboots, just for stuff like that, it's just a continuation, just like that way
yeah. Give
it
us
ties in.
a new team, and bring in some old favorites, right? It's
Come
gonna be
on.
great, man. And they've been the fact that they're bringing on the original people who worked on the show,
Yeah.
And the way they announced it was really cool too. So they did like a
Wait, wait,
Zoom
wait.
live.
It
What?
it wasn't cool, but the way they announced it was neat. I'm not gonna justify
No, fuck you. It was
another
cool. It was cool.
Stargate Atlantis as cool.
No, it was cool. Stargate is cool. I will die on this hill. Um, no, but the way that they announced it was cool because there was this before social media was ever a thing. There was a website called Gate World, and it was like a fan site where people interviewed creators. They talked about the show,
Yeah.
and it's gone on for 2+ decades. This site has
It's still going?
it's still an active site, yeah, and they still talk, do regular stuff. And so they got with those folks, the folks of Gate World, and that's where they did the announcement. So I thought that that was a really cool way to like show that like, hey, we actually care
Yeah,
about
that
the
is
fans
because
who watch the show.
you never see studios or companies do that, right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
they're always just like it's they'll go to do San Diego Comic-Con or something for something you've never heard of, but instead it's like, "No, let's announce it on this blog that's been going for 30
You're
years."
right.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's
And
awesome.
and
That is awesome. I'm changing my mind. That's awesome.
people bag on Stargate. I was one of those guys. It wasn't until
I only bag on
probably
people who love, like, anything
I
like
know
that, like
'cause you're a dick.
Xena.
Uh, look at you. Look at you just fucking rage baiting me over here like it's
Like,
your job. It's your
I
job.
don't I don't think Stargate's very good.
Okay. Hey, you know what? Jurassic World. Anyways,
Oh, dude, it was so bad. It was so bad. That was the worst movie I've seen in 2 years,
yeah,
easily.
since the last Jurassic World.
Yeah, it was so bad. Uh, like, I would be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed if I made that. I'm sorry, and I
Well,
do a lot of embarrassing things.
so yeah, so I slept on Stargate until about 2000, I wanna say 2007, 2008, right around there when
Yeah.
I had a long weekend and my buddy was just like, "Here, you need something to do? Here you go." And I
Do you
ended
want
up binging, like, the 1st season in a weekend, and this was back when they were 20 episodes long, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but some fun fact, SG1 was the is I think it still holds true, the longest running, like, syndicated sci-fi show is
Oh,
Stargate
wow.
SG1.
I will admit something. Not only was I a giant fan of the movie, like, my neighbor my ne one of my neighbors and I, like,
Movie's great.
we used to rent that movie probably once a month from the library. Like, it was crazy, like, he just had it on, like, permanent loan after a while, it seemed like.
It's
And then I mean, it still holds up pretty good, it's pretty solid. Some of the effects are a little, product of
yeah,
the time.
and the movie is great, but the show does so obviously, because you have 10 seasons to explore, but it shows so much more of
Dude,
that world.
I watched, like, the first 2 seasons. The first 2
Yeah,
seasons, I was all about it. It was great. I just
yeah,
then I hit that time in my life where you just so wrapped up in sports and stuff that we just didn't
yeah,
have time to watch any of it. It was like, if you didn't have we didn't have cable, so we weren't able to really watch it, you know?
yeah, I get that. Oh, another cool thing, actually, so Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich, who made the movie, they're
Yeah.
signed on as executive producers for the show too, for the new show too. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, Roland Emmerich, he wrote that first one, I believe,
Yeah,
which is crazy because, like, he had such a crazy run in the '90s with doing, like, epic shit, and then,
yeah, sure. Well, I mean, I just think it's
yeah.
cool that like the original guys are signed on to it as well. So,
Yeah, that is cool.
um, I mean, we're
God,
still
dude,
probably a couple years away, but
yeah, but if they got a real budget, could you imagine how fucking awesome it's gonna
well,
look?
that's one of the things that they were saying. They're like, we can do stuff now that we couldn't do 20 years ago,
Yeah,
25 years.
they'll be able to make the movie look bad. Where that was always kind of the knock on the show, right? Is like the show looked kinda
Yeah,
hokey
it's a
compared
sci-fi.
to
It
the
was
movie.
literally on the Sci-Fi Channel. Yeah,
Right, right. But, like, it was just one of those where, like, it was like a step down, but now it's like, man, they could really elevate it. Like, I'll
yeah,
watch it. I'll watch it.
yeah.
Also, they gotta bring MacGyver back. I want MacGyver.
He'll definitely have a guest spot at some point. You know,
Good.
I have no doubt because he is he made the show. He was so good in that show.
Yeah. I never saw Atlantis, but when I was in college, man, I knew so many people that it's like, "Oh, we got Atlantis on tonight." Like that.
I mean, you want to
It
know
was,
what show made Jason Momoa a movie star? It was Stargate Atlantis.
is that where you got to start?
No, he got to start on like Baywatch Hawaii, but
Oh, that's right.
he was like he got his fame and his like sci-fi action star stuff. All of that came from Atlantis.
That's interesting because I think a lot of people who don't like I didn't watch a lot of TV, so for me it was like, oh wow, who's this guy who just came out of nowhere? And it's like, oh
Yeah,
no, he was on a massive sci-fi TV show.
yeah, that ran for 5 seasons, and there was supposed to be a movie after, like, because Stargate SG-1, they did two,
So
like,
there was Stargate, then SG-1, and then Atlantis.
yep, and then they did a show that ran for 2 seasons called Universe as well.
Oh, so there was 4 seasons.
There was three shows because Stargate the movie wasn't a show.
So SG-1 is the actual show, is the first season of the
Stargate
TV.
SG-1 was the Richard Dean Anderson where he was Jack O'Neill. That was his show.
Okay.
That ran for 10 seasons. He left after season 8, so he wasn't in. He guest spotted in 9 and 10, but that was it.
Okay. And then Atlantis and then Universe.
Yep.
Now, why did Universe only go 2 seasons?
I just don't think the viewership was there.
Yeah, it kind of ran its course.
I think it ran its course.
So how many seasons was it in total? Like the whole, like from start to finish, the whole all 3 seasons?
17 seasons.
Dude, that's almost 2 decades. That's a fucking long time.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's like
And
well
there was
into the 2000s.
SG-1 had 2 movies that came out as well.
Oh, like TV movies?
Yeah. Yeah. And there was
that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, made for TV movies, man. There was supposed to be a third one and the third one was a combination of Atlantis and SG-1. Oh, look at this. He's walking away while I'm trying to
hear you. I had something fall.
But and I actually found it on Gate World. Gate World, the website, is they talk to the dude, the writers of the canceled movie.
Yeah.
And it was a combination of SG-1 and Atlantis. And it was the whole basis of the movie was them taking the Stargate program public, because up until then it had been top secret, right? And so I thought that would have been an interesting concept.
I don't know. That might be too much for me. I like my Black Ops stuff, man.
Well, yeah, but you had 17 years of Black Ops stuff.
Dude, they've been keeping the UFOs secret at Area 51 since the 40s.
I know. But
that's like 80 years, I think.
I know. But anyways,
you're so
our guest is here.
Like, this sucks. You're not excited about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, you know what? That's why I'm cutting to our guest. He's here. You're not here to listen to me talk about fucking Stargate. You're here because you want to see Chad and Jesse Lonergan draw a fucking Swamp Thing.
Let's be honest. They want to
without further ado,
they want to see Jesse draw, not me.
So without further ado, let's bring him in.
Oh, Jesse Lonergan, welcome back to the Tiger Den.
Thanks for having me.
How's it going, man?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
We are we're surviving. We're hanging in there. It's it's been kind of I don't know, it's been a weird year. I don't know about you. I mean, every time I see you online, dude, you've been just hammering away at the pages, just book after book. And then dare I say, a book that is kind of lighting the industry on fire right now. DROME, congratulations on the release of that, man.
Thanks so much. Yeah. I'm busy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I became a professional, and like comics before had been like my hobby, and now I just don't have any hobbies, and I just like switch over to being a workaholic.
I feel like that's how you know you're
I debate
successful.
hobbies I need to get to for personal sanity. I'm like, I need to get a hobby.
Might I recommend golf?
Something
very fun.
Golf.
That's my hobby.
No,
I'm with you, dude. Yeah. I will say this though. That's how you know you're doing well in the industry, right? is you don't have time for hobbies or life or anything else.
Just working.
Yeah, it feels like I'm in like a pretty good position at the moment, where like I there's work there
Yeah.
for me, sort of this very like pragmatic way, and then it also seems like I'm able to sort of balance it with just doing stuff that's sort of purely for myself,
Mhm.
and that stuff comes out too. And so like Drome was sort of a book that I worked on in the background for
Yeah.
5 years or so. Like, and it, and while I did, four other books for publishers and writers and stuff. And
Right.
so like, and then it just sort of seems like things sort of like lined up this year where it's like, like doing like Godzilla versus Boston, and then like Drum comes out, and then there's this Hellboy series coming out, and it just sort of feels like all of those things kind of coincidentally came out at the same time. So it seems like I'm really busy, even
Yeah.
though in some ways the work on them was separated by a lot.
Well, you should pat yourself on the back, man. Like, I think one,
Thanks.
getting those side projects out is always the hardest.
Yeah,
When you first started doing Drome, it inspired me to start doing a side project. Like, I'm doing one right now that I'm not gonna. I can tell you about it afterwards because this is about you. But it's just it's always like those are my favorite kind of projects, and
yeah.
Yep.
and like I think that's where you see people's best work. Like, I have heard your name mentioned this year as because of Drome as
Mhm.
Jesse Lonergan, possibly the best comic storyteller in the industry right now. I'm not even kidding. I was like, well, we got to get him on the podcast so we can
Yeah.
ask him about this and completely embarrass him. But like,
Yeah,
dude,
totally. I'm
that's
like,
amazing
I'm
praise.
the worst
Like,
at taking compliments.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's gotta feel good
the
though, right? Like, that's
yeah, it definitely
epic,
feels
man.
good. Like I don't know, it's sort of, it's hard to know what to make of it. Like
Yeah.
I feel it's the lifestyle of a comic book artist is like one of like on my street, like total. I mean, people know who I am. I'm the guy who lives in that house,
Right.
but
Sure.
like they have no idea, like not important at all. And then, your days are kind of spent, alone at a desk,
It's
and
humbling.
it's all like headspace. And then
Yeah.
like everything that you do, it's like, it doesn't make any sense because like no one else is around, and you're like, I think this makes sense.
Right. Right.
And then like, and that goes on for years. And
Right.
then all of a sudden you start hearing these things, and it's, about maybe people are talking about something you did 3 or 4 years ago. And, it's like, it's hard to put the two of them together.
Sure.
And, that there's also like, yeah, people say you're great, and then your daughter's like, "Go away, I don't like you."
Yeah, they do that.
Like within like 2 minutes of each other, and it's she's 4, so
Right.
it's not a particularly meaningful. I don't like
Listen,
you.
let me tell you right now, it only gets worse. It
Yeah,
only
that's
gets worse.
what everyone. I feel like it's such a steady evolution. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't get easier. It doesn't necessarily get harder. It just changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the diapers are gone. Like that's great, and
Yeah.
like
awesome.
all of that. But now like emotions are kicking into high gear, and like, not getting what you want. And
It's interesting though
dealing
what
with
you
it.
said though about like you can be this like well-respected, very successful comic book artist, but because you're like insulated unto yourself, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It all kind of like you start your day, it's all out the window. There's no walking into like some big high power office. Let me go into my studio and draw for the day. You're just
Yeah,
like, well, do I put clothes on today? I guess I could just maybe do pajamas.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very
there
humbling.
there
It's a
isn't
humbling
that like
job.
boss walking in and any sort of like like any of that sort of like status that goes along with
Yeah, yeah,
um which I think in some ways like I feel that's one of the kind of like a great thing about comics is that you can have sort of legendary people but they don't get some of them get the swelled head, but a lot of people seem pretty grounded
Mhm.
and
yeah.
pretty down to earth. And it's just like they're just people, and they just happen to be excellent at what they do. Um, and I feel like I haven't really had like a bad interaction with like another pro or a person who I highly respect, where it's been like, oh, that guy was a jerk. I know other people have, and
Yeah.
probably can come up with a list of people they've had bad interactions with. But um, it's sort of it just feels like I don't know. People stay sort of normal,
Yeah.
like
Mm.
you have George Perez walking around in his goofy Hawaiian shirt and stuff, like
Yep.
like there's none of like these like power suits or anything like that. Like it's like everybody's pretty
Maybe that's
down to
the
earth
move.
and comfortable wearing running shoes.
Maybe that's the move, though. We start wearing power suits,
Yeah.
at
Yes.
the rare convention
I feel like you
appearance.
go to a convention, there's always like one guy who's like,
Yeah,
I'm
he's
gonna
trying to
dress like I'm
elevate.
going to work or whatever. I don't know what it is. And everyone's like, oh, that guy.
I think it's the guys that always like kind of they look at the golden age, right? Where that was
Mhm.
like a thing where like you lived in New York City and you worked in some like big building and there were like artist studio and everybody, there's all those photos of like Kirby wearing the tie and the slacks and all that, with the cigar.
Yeah.
Which
Um,
I don't know. That seems
That's it, Tad. We're power suiting next convention
I
we go
mean,
to. We're power suiting.
I
great.
I had to wear a tie for my day job for 12 years, and
Never again.
I'll wear one if I need to, but I don't think a comic convention is one of those places that I need to wear a tie. I think weddings and funerals, I'll do it
Sure. Well,
if I can get away with not doing it, though I will not. uh,
yeah.
So
depends on
I
the
do have a
wedding.
question for you.
Yeah,
You wanna do some drawing?
yeah,
While we
yeah.
chat? All right,
Let's do
let's do
some
it.
drawing.
What are we drawing today, you guys? And by we, I mean the two of you, because I don't draw.
Um, he asked me what I wanted to draw, and I didn't really have any ideas, so I just said Swamp Thing.
I mean, never a bad
So
idea.
I feel I feel sort of if I'm going to be drawing on camera and drawing for recording, it should be something I feel okay drawing. And so Swamp Thing feels good to me.
Yeah.
Uh,
Something's never a bad
yeah,
choice.
yeah.
I agree. Swamp Thing
I
is
think I'll start with this position, and then maybe if it's not looking so good, we can switch to
Yeah.
a more direct view of the page.
yeah, whatever you need to
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
Just I'm not I'm
I
I'm
also
gonna say
might
it right
need to
now.
lose my glasses,
I'm not as
depending.
fast as you. So I know you're gonna get a lot more done than me.
I do draw fast.
You do, man. Like I
I,
love it. Like you're such a juggernaut online. I don't know if you realize that, but like you are like a beast and it's awesome. Like I
I'm
love it.
okay. I feel like it's like people talk about me drawing really straight lines, like because I'll record like myself like inking panel borders or whatever. I'll be like, oh, you can draw straight lines so well without a ruler, and it's like, well, they're not really that straight. Like there's actually a lot of like wobble in the line. But I feel it's like there's so much wobble that it becomes straight again. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like it's like if I drew a really straight one and then I had a wobble, it would be a problem. But because it's kind of constantly a wiggly line, it works out all right.
You know what? It's interesting you say that because I was just thinking today about I almost got to as a student ink for Adam Kubert,
Oh wow.
and he was showing me how, like, because he was at the time still working analog, so he was using a lot of nibs and stuff for doing buildings, all kinds of stuff and things, and he was saying that, like, having the kind of that imperfect line, not like the perfect straight line, like, it would give things a little bit more life. And I don't know, when you see guys that are kind of doing that, I feel that, yeah, he's absolutely right. Like, it gives you see more life to, like, the city or the car, or
Yeah,
some kind of, like, structure.
it's sort of I feel there's like there's this weird thing. I think it can happen digitally too, but I feel like I see it mostly in analog where like the the movement that you like the recording of the movement of the pencil or the pen or whatever,
Yeah,
it's sort of like it has this human quality, and
yeah,
that human quality is a reality, and then it transfers into the reader. Like,
yeah,
like, or sometimes I feel like it's like the artist knows what they're drawing, and like the reader might not know what is being drawn, but they know the artist knows what they're drawing, and so it looks realistic. I don't know.
yeah,
It's just sort of the same thing with like watercolor, where like sometimes you'll see watercolor and it's like, oh, that looks just like reality, and it's like, not. Somehow it's like this magic trick of art,
yeah. It's like
where
you're
like these
inferring
these
something's
gestures
existence. Yeah,
create a reality.
yeah. Oh, I like, yeah,
Um,
the gesture.
I like that.
The gesture creates the reality. I like, yeah, that is a really good point. That is a really good point.
yeah. Um, and so like I keep things messy. Like it feels like that's where I'm comfortable. Um, I
Sure.
go back and forth. Like I
Wait,
worry I'm developing bad habits sometimes.
oh, really?
Yeah, I guess I worry. I think I get in my head a lot, but I think about like choosing to do something a certain way, whether that will be like creating like a habit and
Mhm.
affecting how I draw, and not
Yeah.
necessarily a negative sense, but like sort of limiting the way I draw. Like,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
like if you like I draw straight to ink like a fair amount.
Right.
Um, and like you can draw straight to ink and have like something that comes out pretty good. Like, and maybe like that, and it's also one of the things with like straight to ink is like it's done. Like, I've just put the ink down. While if you're like penciling for like a long time, it's like it's not done. And
Yeah.
I find there's much more satisfaction in having something done. But like if I'm drawing straight to ink, it will like limit what I do. Like I won't do like the complicated like body pose
Mm.
Oh,
because it's too hard to do in my head straight to ink
right,
while
right.
like, and so if I'm drawing straight to ink all the time, I'm not like exercising those body poses, and maybe I'm out of like like maybe I'm settling for something that's simpler because it's easier to draw
Yeah,
in that
that makes
style.
sense. I remember, years ago, I used to work with Ron Randall, and he would say that, like, to some of the gigs would be just like these commercial turnarounds, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
And he would have like his 5 poses, right? Where, like, I don't have time
Yeah.
to do we don't no, I don't have time to do any reference on these or anything, so I'm just gonna go with like my 5 like character poses that I know are gonna work on this page. And so
Mhm.
he would just like bust them out really quick because, Ron's been doing comics since the 80s, and it was really interesting. But like, yeah, I think it kind of like relates to what you're saying, where you want sometimes to do these more complex things, but sometimes it's just easier to stick with well, this is familiar. This is I know this works.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah,
doing this
like
for
yeah, or just sort of like I don't know, I feel sometimes it's like drawing comics is sort of this thing of having tools available. So like you don't need to do 3-point perspective or
right.
you know you don't need to, but it's good if you know how to do it
Sure.
because like it can it can kick in at some point where you're like, oh, you know what would really work is like really getting this like perspective down, and like getting it
Yeah.
accurate and getting it like sort of on point. And it doesn't always need to be, you don't need to do it in every panel, but like I think in order to be able to do it well, you have to have done it a certain amount of times.
Sure.
And so it's like, like what are the habits that, you know, lead to better art, I guess. And it's like I feel like my tendency, like I would draw faces. Like if if I'm gonna sit down and doodle, it will be a face. Like
Yeah.
um, it will not be a building or anything. I don't know. So um, thinking about those aspects and like how they affect what comes out. Uh, I guess
No,
is
that
something
makes
to think
perfect
about.
sense. I know, like I if I'm put like like you were talking about conventions before we started recording,
Yep.
and I know I always end up doing the kind of like straight on,
Mhm.
shot, like the character just like, especially if it's like the waist up, or maybe it'll
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like like a 3/4 body, but then the head is
yeah,
turned so it's profile, just because it's like I know I can nail the profile shot. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like I know I can nail that without like really having to overthink it. And then I don't know, you ever watch like Adam Hughes or any of those guys at the conventions? They just
yeah.
because they get so many so many commissions. It's always
Hmm.
kind of amazing how they've got like the straight on and then the profile for the headshot, and man, they just knock it out, and it looks beautiful. But you'll watch them do 20 of them in an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like conventions and like the the art style that that can work at a convention is like sort of like embracing this performance aspect of
Mhm.
drawing,
Oh yeah.
which I feel like I don't feel like I hear people talk about it that way that much, but it's like, well, part
No.
of it is that you're like sitting in front of these people and you're just gonna like, do the thing. And so I feel like drawing at conventions, I personally don't want to be experimenting in a way where it will fail,
Yeah.
because like,
Mhm.
it's it's maybe if I were more confident, I would be okay with that. But it's like I feel like
Dude,
with
you were
stuff like
saying all of the things that literally keep me up at night while I'm at a convention. Like
like
nothing
like
or because I don't know about you, do you get hit with stuff where it's like people will ask you to do characters that you're not familiar with, you don't know who they are,
oh,
and then
all the time. I feel like
yeah,
I don't know. And like if it's at home and I have time, I can like
right.
like do sketches and plan things out. So like I try and do more like pre-show commissions with that stuff, and then
See, I got to do
sort
that.
of
That's
I've
genius.
like I do like I call them like the quick draw commissions at conventions where it's like much cheaper, but generally like straight to ink. Um, and those sort of I feel like I generally just get superhero.
Yeah.
But sometimes I got a commission, a pre-show commission that was Jessica Fletcher from Murder She Wrote,
Nice.
and like
Oh, cool.
at a convention I could never draw that. Like
Yeah.
I was like I need Google and I need to like look at like Angela Lansbury's outfits and like like do all this research to get this this right.
Would
Yeah,
you say
well,
that's the most random one you've gotten, or can you think of any others?
Um, I don't know if that's the most. I just did one that was like the witches from Wicked,
Okay.
which is I guess timely. But I don't really necessarily think of like sort of being what I would immediately think of for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the John Belushi samurai character from
oh,
Saturday
from
Night Live.
SNL. Yeah,
I forget what that character's name is. The samurai tailor. Um,
yeah.
and
I feel like
oh,
getting the likeness would just be. I'm not very good at those, or at least I used to be
I'm
really bad at them. And man, that shit just it scares me so much because I'm like, you want to do a good job for the person, right? And you know, you don't want them to come back and be like, oh yeah, cool, it looks nothing like what I just paid you to do.
yeah, that's one of the things that I really love about the Solo movie is that now it's Han Solo doesn't have to be Harrison Ford, and it's just like you just got to get the hair, and
Right.
like
Yeah,
you do not have to do a portrait of Harrison Ford. Even if nobody likes that movie, just like with all the James Bonds, it's like you don't actually have to do a likeness really to do James Bond. You can just sort of get like the gun and the drink, and you've got it. And
yeah.
yeah, but likenesses, I don't really. I'm always amazed at the people who can do it really well. Like,
Mm.
Oh,
just seem to have like that ability. Like,
well, I mean,
uh,
we could talk about
we can list people like who can
yeah, like Drew
draw people.
Struzan. Like, I mean, come
Yeah,
on, man. Like, I
yeah,
mean, dude, like that guy, we lost one of the greats, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Um,
one.
so
Those are.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, it's the same as everybody. It's like, yeah, the posters were on my wall.
Right.
Like they're like there's something I still look at, and I'm like, I don't know how you did that. Like
Well,
I don't know how someone paints like that. Like,
he's also one of
um,
those artists too that I think like my wife knows nothing about comics, right? She doesn't care about comics.
mm,
But if I show her Drew Struzan, like when he passed away, I said like, "Oh, he passed away. It's really sad." She goes, "Well, who's that?" And I showed her his work.
Mm-hmm.
She was
yeah,
like, "Oh, wow, that guy? Wow, those are paintings? I always thought those were photos." I'm like, "No."
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I was like, yeah. So he's one of those guys that, and this kind of gets into something that Brian and I were talking about
Yeah.
the other night.
Well, it was
Um,
last night actually.
yeah. We were kind of having a discussion about like what how you always hear people talk about like who's the GOAT, what's your Mount
uh,
Rushmore and we're like, well,
yeah,
how would you do like a Mount Rushmore of comics? And
We're
it
trying to
really
find
kind of
some criteria for it,
yeah, like how
essentially.
would you if you're like how would you even come up with it? Because like there's just so many people have done so many great things. I don't know. I'd be
yeah,
curious. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because like I know you're a bit of a student. Like you pay attention to some of these
yeah.
artists.
Um, I mean, I could make a list, maybe. Like, what are the criteria? I'm not
That
so sure.
that's
Well,
what we're
like
Because, like,
we're trying to find
you're
out. Like what do you
because
we were trying to
like
talk about what would be the criteria for being on the route Mount Rushmore, right?
yeah, like is it like people who transcended comics, people who were also like really good. Like we were kind of thinking last night, we were kind of like, well, it's like, okay, what was their cultural impact outside of comics? But
hmm,
then, like a Frank Miller, right? Massive
right.
influence in comics.
Yeah.
But then like he kind of kicked off the whole like movie thing in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And, like all of a sudden his books were, I used to see him on like campus when I was in college, which was
Yeah.
nuts,
And then for me, I'm a Turtles guy, so I was talking about Eastman and Laird and their impact that they had, not just for just
Oh,
pop
yeah.
culture in general, but also what they did for independent comics when they started
They're
Mirage.
Ethan and Laird. It's like it's Ninja Turtles is such a big success. It's like the scale of the success of Ninja Turtles is so big you forget it's an indie book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know, like you, it's like no man, they I forget when they sold it, like 2000s, like mid
2009.
2005 maybe
2009.
2009.
Yeah.
Like that was owned by the two guys who created it.
Yeah.
For all
Yeah.
those movies, all those toys, all those cartoons, it's so big and successful on such a level that you forget that it's like
Yeah.
it's so indie.
Yeah.
And that's just crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
I saw one of those like articles. It was like I think it was like a I don't know, it was like New York Times or something like that, but they were talking about like indie comics that
mhm.
are really made it and they're like that are still doing it. And that like Ninja Turtles, of course, was like top of the list. And I was like, I don't know if you can call them indie at this point.
Well,
But
not at this point.
now it's not. But like, um, so, I feel like I should switch angles. I don't think can you see anything
Not really.
that
Yeah,
I'm
that
drawing? Not
probably. Yeah,
really.
if you want to switch angles, I'm gonna
Let's see.
stop the record and then I'll let you
Okay.
get situated. Then we'll start again.
Okay.
All right, we're back after that quick adjustment. As you can see, now we can see all of the wonderful stuff that you guys, both of you, are doing. So this is great.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Mount Rushmore, personal. I don't
Yeah,
know.
for you, like, do you
I
have
think.
some Mount Rushmore guys?
Yeah. I don't know that it's necessarily like super exciting. Like Mobius,
Hell yeah.
um, Kirby,
Mm-hmm.
You gotta
Chris
have Kirby,
Ware,
right? Who was that
and
last one? I'm sorry.
Chris Ware.
I'm not familiar with Chris Ware's work.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, who's
He
Chris
did
Ware?
Acme Novelty Library, Jimmy Corrigan.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
okay.
He does. Um, yeah. Uh, does a lot of. I mean, he still does books come out. But it seems like he also does like New Yorker stuff now. Uh,
Yeah, okay.
um, but I think like, but I don't know. I feel like with the Mount Rushmore, you get this thing of like, well, there's my personal one, like
Sure.
where I'm not sure if they,
I
if
mean, I think it's
necessarily. I guess
all
Will Eisner
personal.
maybe would probably be like another,
Yeah,
Yeah.
another one.
Eisner's the man. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like I don't
just
know.
I
I
just
feel
read
those are
his
sort of almost sort of boring. Uh, um, but like I feel like for me, those are probably the biggest influence.
yeah.
Um,
I mean,
I feel
that's a
like
pretty stellar list, man.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I feel like Frank Miller's an influence, but like I was actually talking to my friend Tony McMillan about like Dark Knight as an influence,
Yeah.
and that I do consider it an influence, but like I feel like the influence that has been taken is just sort of this like grim and gritty thing,
Sure.
Yeah.
as opposed to like the way he draws. And I really love the way Frank Miller draws, and especially him and Jansen together. Like, but that actually seems very. A few people would say it's influential, but when I look at comics, I don't see the influence because like
Yeah.
he, they're both on Dark Knight especially so loose,
Yeah.
you know, and like you know like those drawings of those horses and like the brushwork and stuff. It's just like so much energy in it, and
Yeah.
it's so great. But I don't see many other people doing that. You know,
Sure.
like I see that grim and gritty thing a
Yeah.
lot. You know, more than I want. Probably.
Do you still read a lot of comics? No, I mean, this is kind of one of those things, right, where I feel like some creators are still able to they make the time, and then other creators are, and I go through phases where it's like anything but comics, please. I'm just,
Um,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I still I don't keep up with comics
Yeah.
really anymore. Like I just I don't I forget when I there's some point where I was like I'm not able to read all the stuff on my pull list like at all. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
not even coming close.
Yeah.
And sort of like I was like I'm just putting these in in boxes.
We all
You
do
know,
that
and
from
that's
time to
like
time. I'm so
yeah,
behind.
so I can't really like keep up, but I still like I feel like I always like find new things or want to know more about something I don't know enough about something.
Sure.
So I feel like I'm always reading stuff. Actually, like I'm trying. This has been about like maybe a month of like trying to. I have like these omnibuses that are kind of impossible to read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they weigh too much. You can't read them in bed because like you can't hold them up with your arms lying down. Like
Yep.
Oh, we were
um
just talking about this the other night.
My whole thing on omnibuses is they're great like shelf candy, but
yeah.
that's about it, right?
Um, but what I've decided is like I'm just like lining them up and reading like an issue at a time, and then like moving that one to the back, and then like picking up another one. So I'm been reading the Garth Ennis Hellblazer, um, some of the more Swamp Thing,
Oh,
uh,
nice.
some Jack Kirby Demon, and but just sort of like reading them at an issue at a time. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
part of me like kind of thinks. I mean, I know I just put out like a 300-page graphic novel, but like I kind of think like 20 pages is the best length
Mm-hmm.
uh
Oh,
for a
interesting.
comic from like an art perspective. That
Yeah, I
like
could see that.
you as like a reader, I feel like if I read too much, like the art sort of I stop paying attention to it. It grows like dull
Hmm.
or it just sort of becomes background and I don't give it the attention that I think it deserves. Um, so I
I
like 20 pages because that's like a good amount and like you're still appreciating the art and you like the way I used to read comics when I was like a teenager. I like buy the comic and read it through quick and then go back, like read it again, look at all the pictures like much more closely, like kind of
Yeah.
study them
Sure.
and
Oh,
like
dude, I love that you said that because I used to do the same thing. Like, I don't know about you, but like comics weren't the most accessible. So like, I just did
uh
the grocery store thing, where
okay.
you get something off the grocery store stand, whatever they had that looked interesting, you'd read it, and then I would just stare at the photos the whole time,
And
or like,
you'd
or
hope the next issue came at the grocery
I,
store so you could
I
go
was
pick it up.
such an idiot. I never even thought about that. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
really didn't. It was just more of like, oh, that's cool art. And I would just stare
Yeah.
at all the art and see like how to, I guess kind of try and figure out like how they did certain things,
Mm-hmm.
or why, even though
Yeah.
no, I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely like yeah, would I mean, because in like I think the early part of also like collecting comics or sort of like with anything, I feel like you have so few of them. So like those first ones, like you really look at a lot because those are the ones you have. And now, as
Oh
a
yeah.
boring adult, I've got like so many comics that like I might buy something that's far better than what I was, reading when I was 15.
Sure.
But because of the volume of things that have come before, like I don't give it the same attention that I did to Gen 13 or whatever.
Was Gen 13 one of your was that one of your big ones that you liked?
Yeah, I like J. Scott Campbell's art a
Mm-hmm.
lot.
Yeah. Did you did they
Right time, right age.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh, um,
I love
And
that. Did you ever? Well, I guess. Did you remember Adam Hughes when he did that 2 issue, um, Gen 13
yeah,
miniseries?
I remember that one.
I thought that was so rad. I just got that in a bargain bin the other day,
Oh,
earlier this
cool.
year. Yeah,
That's
and it was
crazy.
like what you were saying is like, oh, it was so enjoyable to just read like 2 issues done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was so great.
yeah. There's that John Romita Jr. Table 2 issue
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
one. I love that one. It's like, I don't know. I just think of it as like the perfect sort of length. Um, and so
Okay.
yeah,
What's
Yeah.
what's currently, because you said you got your pull box, your pull list, and you don't.
I don't have a pull list
Oh, okay.
anymore. Like there was a point where I just realized like I hadn't read any of it,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, I gotta stop doing this. Like I'm just collecting paper. It's like that's making me feel guilty.
Sure. When you
Um,
go to a shop though, what do you look for? Like what just kind of what catches your eye? Are you looking for any character specific things? Like
Oh, that's a good question.
no, I don't. I feel like I maybe there's a few characters where I'll always check them out,
Mhm.
but not many. Like like Deathlock, I'll check out if I see Deathlock. That will be one. Dead Man will
Dude,
be another one.
Deathlock.
Yeah, Deathlock, Metamorpho,
Oh, there
those
you
will
go.
be ones that I'll be like, oh, I should check this out. And but not necessarily like I have to buy it or anything, but just like that will pique my interest.
Sure.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Artists that I'll follow, um, sometimes, not as much anymore.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. It's sort of weird once you start being inside of it. Um, like when you start knowing people and stuff, it gets a little weird. Like I feel like, um, I feel like becoming a professional, had sort of changed the way I sort of look at comics, but also definitely changed like the way I judge them.
Okay.
Oh,
Like
yes.
I feel like I used to be much harsher on them,
Oh,
and
really?
like, yeah, and now I'm like, well, schedules and
Probably on a
meeting
deadline.
deadlines and bosses and editors and
Yeah.
who who knows what's going on in that guy's life, like
Sure.
I'll be hon-
all
I
that sort of, and especially with the mainstream stuff where it's so
Yeah.
commercial
Oh.
and so deadline focused. It's like, well, who knows what was happening, like the art in this is good. It's like, well, maybe the script was super late. I don't know. Like,
I
like
found that I went through
um,
like kind of phases where once I finally broke in and started getting a little confidence, I got real
mhm,
critical of like, oh yeah, like they could have done a better job on this, blah blah, And then now I'm because of the things you're talking about, you become a little bit more aware of, oh yeah, we're all people. We have things that we, have to deal with in life.
yeah,
I feel like I judge more on like, oh, what was the idea that they were trying to execute?
Mhm.
I'm more interested in that kind of like, oh, what were they trying to do here, or what did they do here? Um,
right.
like more of like
Uh,
interested in like the nuance of the project itself. Is that like I right now I'm
yeah.
going through a big indie phase where I love like just weird off the wall, just strange zines and stuff. Like I've been just
Mhm.
buying those way too much.
Yeah. I feel like I've always leaned towards the indie stuff, like
Yeah.
in terms of thinking about what it means. I guess I don't really, I don't know. I just hit some point where Batman doesn't
Sure.
really mean
Eh,
much to me.
It's just always
Um,
a sad day. I had the same with Captain America. There was a time where I went to the shop, about 2010. And I
Oh
was
yeah,
like, yep. And I was like, you know what? Just doesn't do it for me anymore.
yeah,
I was really bummed out.
I've been through
yeah.
that too. I think at some point we all do.
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean, you like you grow, you change. It's
Yeah.
to me, it's almost weirder if it doesn't change. Like it can be sad that it's changed, but
Yeah.
like I feel like I have a 4-year-old, and that's like a huge change, but it's also like it's changed like what I consume in terms of like TV.
sure.
It's like, no, I don't want to watch anything with a child like getting hurt. Like
Sure.
like that
Yeah.
that's like unacceptable. And like the the stresses and like the complexity of emotions that I can have with my daughter, where like I love her very much, but she is driving me insane.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
and I like like being at the point where you're like, I need to leave this room
Yes.
now because I don't know what's going to happen. And it's like, what kind of TV do you think I want to watch that night? It's like, I want to watch something that makes me think about absolutely nothing. Like,
Yeah.
I want minimal conflict, that I want nothing that matters. Like, it's like, I'll watch a boring reality TV show, because
Oh,
I won't
what's your
have to think.
jam? What's your
I
reality
watch
show?
Survivor. I've seen a lot of Survivor.
Nice.
Um, uh, there's like a Korean dating show called Singles
Oh
Inferno
yeah.
that
There
my
you
wife
go.
and I will
Brian's
watch.
Brian right now is getting it because he knows where I'm bringing this.
I
He
know
knows
it.
where
I
I'm
know
taking this
exactly where you're
conversation.
going with this, and I might have to walk away. But you know what? You do you. Bring it up.
My wife and I, we watch Love Island. That's our
Okay,
that's
yeah.
our jam. And
I think Singles Inferno is like a very chaste version of that.
okay.
Um,
Yeah,
like
it's they're stupid, but
yeah,
man,
yeah,
it is a nice like just turn your brain off.
yeah,
I
yeah,
dig it.
That's what Jason
yeah,
Statham movies are for me. I can just turn my brain off and watch him do
yeah,
ridiculous things.
Just be cool
yeah.
and sexy.
But like
Yep. Yep.
I feel that need to turn my brain off, which when I was like 25, I was like, why are they making this garbage? I don't understand. Like
If it's not from the
it's
Criterion, I'm not
it's
interested.
so thoughtless. Like,
Yeah.
who's interested in this?
Yeah.
Like, this is garbage. Everyone should be watching smart things, like, and I've just, that's, no, it's like, you're in wherever you're at,
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
felt that way ever. I've always watched dumb stuff on TV.
It's true.
Yeah.
What Brian's been watching he's been deep diving on the Highlander series.
I watched all 6 seasons of the 90s
Okay.
TV show recently.
Yeah, okay.
Fantastic.
I have not seen that since the 90s.
Yeah.
It was a shock, man. I watched some of it and I was like, oh wow, yeah, I forgot that this was a thing.
Yeah.
Was it on syndication? Was it syndicated
Oh, yeah.
always?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like I grew up in, I don't know, I grew up in northern Vermont and didn't have cable for a long time. And so Highlander was on like the Canadian broadcasting stations.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But not in any of the US ones that I had.
I also did a rewatch. I didn't finish it. I never made it out of the first season. But do you guys remember Renegade with Lorenzo Lamas?
I loved Renegade as a kid. I thought it was so cool.
Right?
Never watched it.
Oh man.
I knew of it.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
Still
You're better not watching it.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Jesse, did you you said you grew up in Vermont?
Yeah.
Were you like a city kid or did you grow up in like one of the
In
farms out
Vermont?
there? Yeah.
There's no city in Vermont.
Say again? There's no city
There
kid?
aren't any. There aren't any cities in Vermont.
Oh, okay. I've never been. I don't know.
I think Burlington, Vermont, would be what they would call a city, but I think
Okay.
it's like I would guess it's at 50,000 people.
Oh wow.
So it's like not a city. And like,
Yeah.
no, I wasn't a farm kid, but like the town I grew up in, for the most part, was about 1,000 people.
Oh
Okay.
So pretty rural, pretty small town. Uh,
yeah.
not a city kid at all. There's a stretch for people like in my 20s where people were like, "You're from New York, right?" I was like, "No, why do you think that?" Uh,
You're like offended. How dare you?
no, not offended, but just like I didn't understand because it happened like multiple times. I was like, I don't understand this. Um, I mean, I'm not like 100% uh like a Vermonter. Like I grew
Sure.
up in Saudi Arabia until I was 5.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
So
That's
like
fascinating. Were
w-
your
w-
parents military or something? Or
my dad works for the military industrial complex, so he wasn't military. He was military adjacent.
Okay.
okay.
So yeah, so we were in Saudi Arabia till I was 5 or so. So like I think there's a difference between like being like born and raised in Vermont and moving to Vermont from Saudi Arabia.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely more country than city.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
Well,
about you? Where you're from Alaska? Like born and raised?
no,
Or,
I live in Alaska because my wife's from here. But I grew up in Brian and I are both Washington kids.
Yep.
Like
Pacific
Pacific
Rural Washington
Northwest.
kids too. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, like I grew up in well, it's a pretty big. The town has grown significantly, but at the time it was a real tiny logging town, and it was like if you weren't a logger, if your dad wasn't a logger, he was probably a dairy farmer. And
Okay.
so
Yeah.
my dad would like work for the postal service, and like he was like a California surfer guy. Don't ask me how we ended up out there because I could not tell you. I have no idea where he was like, this is where we're going.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I grew up out there, and it just basically right there in the shadow of the Cascades. And it's
Okay.
interesting how, I don't know about you, but like it has had such a huge impact on my interest as like an artist. Like I really gravitate towards things that have to do with I guess probably just nature just in general. Like even now I'm working on a graphic novel, and the whole thing is like small town America. It takes place out in New England, but it's out there in like like in the New England farm area and stuff like that. Like on the edge of like these small townships.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of been like, oh wow, I can like I just had to draw like a elementary school, and I just looked up my old elementary school, and I was like, oh perfect, this is
Nice.
this is what I'm referencing. Yeah,
For New England?
huh?
For New England? You're
New England, like Massachusetts.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
like
look at your Washington elementary school?
yeah, that's what I use. I just needed a
Okay.
small building in the background. Just because we had this like really interesting building.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Massachusetts is a lot older than Washington State. Like,
That's true, but my town was old. Our
my
buildings were.
my elementary school building was like 200 years old. Like,
That's how ours was. It was built.
yeah.
Our high
Okay.
school and our elementary school was built in like 1903, and the buildings they just around like maybe 2005 they stopped using them. But like when I was a kid, we those were the schools that we had classes in and stuff. They had no heating. They were severely dated. It was like really kind of crazy. And I don't know. I was just like, oh, it'd be great. I always wanted to work it into something, and it was kind of the perfect. It was just a small like throwaway background panel.
Yeah.
It was still like, I got to do it.
Yeah.
I did my homework, man. Come on now.
Watch, that's the major criticism of that book is like the book's great, but what the fuck was he thinking putting that school in there, dude? That was the greatest thing ever.
That's not what Massachusetts looks like. No, I think I feel like, yeah, maybe, I don't know how much New England influences me. I don't think it influences me in terms of nature. I think my personality is very much like a Northeast personality.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
but like I think no one thinks I'm from California. Like,
I people I think I've got some tells. I say dude a lot.
And you wear flip flops year round.
Yeah. I mean, my wife's technically from Hawaii, so like that
True.
doesn't help me either.
okay.
True.
Yeah.
Uh, no, I think it's more of a personality thing. But,
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like there's like the stereotype of New Englanders, and I'm like, yeah, that's that's about right. Kind of cold, kind
Yeah.
of, I feel like there's like all this idea of politeness is leaving other people alone.
Mm.
Um, like,
Yeah.
and I think other parts of the country, it's like, why isn't they talking to me? It's like, I think he's leaving you alone. Um, uh,
I consider that polite.
I do too.
I'm with you on that.
uh, but, yeah,
I feel like you would like Alaska because that's very much the Alaskan vibe. It's
I think of, I guess one of the things I think about New England though is it's not like you can be in the country and like I'd say my town was like 1,000 people, but like it's sort of dense with town. So like there was another town of 1,000 people like 4 miles away, and another
yeah.
one after that, and another one after. Like you're never like if they were to make like the slasher movie where you're lost in the woods of Vermont, it's like not for long. Like you just walk downhill, you'll find a town because there's towns everywhere. Like same with Massachusetts. Like northern Maine, okay, then it gets pretty desolate. But
Okay.
like I
Yeah.
feel like once you get out into Alaska, once you get out into like Wyoming or places like that, you have people
Oh,
who live and there's like nothing for 30
yeah.
miles,
Sure.
40 miles. Like
Oh, yeah. I could have you if you were out here visiting and you're like, I want to get out in the middle of nowhere in like 20 minutes, I could have you
yeah,
on the edge of civilization,
yeah,
like lickety split. Like it gets desolate fast out here.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah. Speaking of, can we talk about DROME a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What was the like catalyst for that? What inspired you to, to make it, to come up with the characters that you had?
Um,
Like I remember when you started doing kind of like the web comic a few years ago. Uh, but yeah,
um, yeah, like
I know it's kind of a
it's
weird
sort of.
question.
I feel like I, I feel like I spent a lot of time sort of my like first books that were published like in 2007 and 2009
Were those with
and 14.
MBM?
Yeah, with MBM, like those books, like I was like very sort of concerned with like these very small stories, and like sort
Mm-hmm.
of these like um, you know, feelings. Uh, but just like, like microaggressions would be the kind of aggressions that would appear, and like they just hit this sort of point where I was like, oh, this isn't, there's nothing wrong with this, but this isn't where I'm at. Like, like in talking about like, oh, I don't like what I liked when I was 25 anymore. Like
Yeah.
something else is speaking more. And sort of what I found myself sort of more interested in was sort of like these kind of mythological type stories, these kind of where I feel like something like Sisyphus like rings true now. Like
Mm.
it feels like a meaningful thing because
Yeah.
it's like sort of stripped down, and it's like these kind of like core ideas of like this struggle of effort. Um, that once completed you just do it again which I feel like any adult who's had a job is like, yeah,
Yep.
I
Yep.
have that experience, and sort of, or Icarus and flying too close to the sun, like these sort of kind of like, I think in a sense it's like a very small thing, like the myth of Sisyphus, but it's like blown out to these mythical proportions. And so like, doing a bigger sort of epic story that has, nothing small in it. Everything's big. Everything's sort of at the maximum. Like it's pretty violent. There's lots of death and fighting, and all conflicts become physical.
Yeah.
And sort of that was like telling those kinds of stories was sort of where my narrative interest lies, and then also like visually wanting to sort of have a comic that would sort of play with the medium in sort of telling those stories, and really rely on the medium to tell the stories and not on anything else.
Oh, interesting.
And sort of like, but also like I was saying, when I think like 20 pages is sort of the perfect length
Mhm.
for a comic. I one of the things I sort of wanted Drome to do was to have the art and like the way the composition and layout work, like continue to evolve throughout, so that like that it's not the same thing twice, and so it's always like moving forward and pushing like a different direction, or panels are being used in a different way, sort of this like evolutionary story as it sort of tells this like creation myth, and sort of wanting to push those visual ideas as well.
Okay.
Did you do that in a sense also to like just keep it like fresh, just because you are doing such a massive book, and also like challenge yourself as an artist at the same time? Because I feel like a lot of this conversation has been kind of geared towards like continual growth.
Yeah. I think I don't like repeating myself. You like just in like I think like sort of a deep like idiosyncratic manner of like, if
Mhm.
I hear myself say the same thing twice in the same way with the same
Yeah.
word, I'll be like, I'm never saying that again. Like like
Yeah.
if I tell a story and I realize like, oh, this has become a story you just tell kind of verbatim, it's like
Mhm.
I'm never telling the story again, because there's something about it that bothers me, and I'm not sure what it is. But like, I've talked a lot about drone
Yeah.
in the last few months, and like part of me, like while I was talking about Sisyphus and Icarus, I was like, I don't know if you should ever say this again, because you've definitely said this before on other podcasts or interviews or someplace.
Yeah.
Um, so I feel like I don't like really repeating myself. I sort of like finding something new. Um, but also like what I was saying was I can remember reading, actually it's Brian Lee O'Malley's Second, and which is a great book, but just sort of the way I read it, like visually, I sort of like kind of tuned out, like I was saying with like longer things. I was just sort of tuning out the art as it went along. And
Okay.
so like I
Oh.
was like giving it the intention it deserved in the beginning, but then sort of kind of drifting off towards the end and kind of flying through the pages,
Yeah.
like, and just reading the stories. And I think some people might think that's a good thing, that like, okay, you've made the leap from looking at pictures to just being in the story. But I guess I wanted it to, I didn't want that to happen because we spend so much time on the art, and and it is by far the most time consuming thing. And it's like, so people should look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like wanting to have that sort of evolution and have things like the way a page works change so that like the the composition also of like the layouts of pages also hits a climax as the story hits a climax. So like there's visual things that I do in the last chapter that like I think only makes sense if you've read all the pages that come before.
Okay.
And
Oh,
it like
interesting.
visually I I don't if you started on those pages and be like, this makes no sense whatsoever. But because of all the stuff that's come before, like in terms of the graphic structure of it, it makes sense. My hope. Um, I guess I also feel sometimes like my goal is to have things be like to basically draw nothing at some point and be like, whoa, that's amazing. Like like
Yeah.
to have it
Yeah.
be like so deep into it that like, oh, it's just a black page, but it like hits like a
Yeah.
thunderclap.
Like it's like the ultimate minimalist
Yeah.
execution.
Um,
I
so
remember there was
like,
a John Byrne issue of Alpha Flight, and it was kind of a gimmicky like issue, right? But it was called Whiteout, and it was yeah, and like every panel except for the first page and the last page is all just
mhm,
pure white. It's just
yeah,
like a big snowstorm. And so like you're reading it, right? And you're just literally reading like the word balloons. And it's one of those things you could probably only pull it off once, but it still reads really well. It's like kind of like,
yeah,
oh man, I can't believe he's able to do this. This is crazy.
And Jesse, you
no,
said something that kind of spoke true. Definitely for me, talking about how art is the longest spot and you want people to look at it. Cause one of the things that I've continuously done, especially since starting this podcast, because like at first when I would read comics, I'd just flip through it as fast as I can. And,
yeah,
you know, mostly from shame from Tad, I've learned to like, I kind of force myself to slow down when I'm reading
uh-huh,
comics so I can really just kind of take it in on a better level, the way that it was meant to be taken in,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think you should feel bad. I
No,
Thank
feel
you.
like
but make him
Thank you.
make him
Yeah.
feel bad. Let's make him
we,
feel bad.
I think we all sort of do that, and sometimes I'm like, this is like a conflict that I have is just like how do you combat that? And
Mhm.
it's like, you know, what can you do in the art to slow people down? And
Mhm.
so like I think someone like Jim Lee, like the way he draws like slows people down, and
Yeah,
like it grabs, it arrests attention and it sort of stops you from doing that, while you know, some other artists, maybe it doesn't have that same effect. And so that's like one way you could do it.
Sure.
And I think, I find it interesting to try and use like kind of the dense puzzle like pages as a way of sort of arresting that attention. Where it's like, yeah, you can go through fast, but you might miss something. Because like you actually have, I hope you actually have to pay attention
Right.
um, to understand it because there aren't many words helping you out. Um,
sure.
and then also sometimes I'm like, if they're not gonna look at the page, maybe you should draw faster.
Sure.
Like for me personally, like I'm like, if this is a talkie page, I don't think I should spend that much time drawing it because
Yeah, I mean
if it's
that's
a
a
talkie page, it's they're just
yeah.
going to be reading it, and so it's like,
Yep.
how can I make this quicker to draw? Well,
Yeah, I mean that's a great way of like utilizing the time, right? Because you're putting the emphasis on the story elements that you want there to be time spent on.
yeah.
Um, like I mean it's interesting. Like there's certain artists, like some artists, they're just such beautiful draftsmen, right?
Hmm.
That you end up like just staring at the work Just because it's just gorgeous. But I mean, if you
Yeah.
asked me what the story was about, I probably couldn't tell you.
Oh, I
you know?
mean, there's definitely comics where there'll be artists where I'm like, oh, I love that artist, and it's like I don't really read the stories though. Like
Yeah,
they're just not of interest for me. And sometimes like there's certain types of like drawings where it's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna really read the story. Um,
sure.
like anthropomorphic animals. Like I
Oh
love
yeah,
his art. But the Black Sad stories, like there's I don't know why they're in. And so like
yeah.
it's like it looks so good, but it's like something's gonna be lost as soon as something's lost for me as soon as it becomes a story
Okay.
about like race in America in the 1950s. And I'm like, what? This is
I
cats and
wonder
monkeys and
why he, I wonder why he decided to make them all. Because yeah, I mean, you look at the level of expertise, right? That it's illustrated
yeah,
with.
it's a huge amount of skill and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't mean to say like there's any the writing I think is good as well too. It's just the juxtaposition for me where it
sure.
creates this sort of I don't know. I think
I
too
would,
much about why is it a cat? like
yeah, I would be
Okay.
curious to
um
see like why those decisions were made. Like, why not just make them, you know, people in regular human gangsters and stuff. Why are they like polar bears and penguins and cats
yeah,
and all
yeah.
kinds of stuff? Yeah,
Um
obviously it's a creative choice that is worked
yeah.
very well for them, but like why, why, what is the reasoning for
What
that?
what yeah, what the reasoning is. And like the reasoning might just be that it looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks.
Firstly, like and that's enough. Like I I'd say I don't really read them. I do own them all. Like
Yeah,
but it's just sort of like, yeah, I'm more there for the art, um,
Mm-hmm.
than the stories.
Now, are you a collector, comic collector as well?
No, not really.
No.
Um, no, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Ah, all
I
right.
I feel like with collecting, there's this like I have like I don't have anything of value, but
Sure.
like I have like runs of things,
Yeah.
oh
and
yeah,
like there's like the John Romita and Vicente Daredevil run. Like I remember, like I I have a lot of it, and then there's like one issue like in between arcs or whatever that's like a fill-in, and it's like I remember in my head being like I have to buy that one, like because it's part of the run,
Right. Right.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
like I have 253, like 253, and I have 255. I have to have 254, and like that, like I know that's how my brain works.
Mm-hmm.
That like like it's the same with like I won't, and so it's just like I can't start collecting because I
yeah,
know how I get, and it's like a weird irrational thing, and it's also like why I will not start buying records. It's like because
Sure.
it's like if I start buying records, it's like, oh, okay, well, I gotta get London Calling. It's like, yeah, but if you get London Calling, you're probably gonna get the first Clash album too. And
yeah,
then why don't you get a second one? Because, like, and it's just like because you don't like the second one. That's why you don't get the second one. But like, this is me personally talking. I'm not talking.
Yeah.
And
No,
no,
I
no, no,
personally,
totally.
I'm not a big fan of the second Clash album. But
yeah,
but like I know how my brain works, and like that I will get to the point where I'm buying the last Clash album because I need to have them all,
Right.
even
yeah,
though like no one, no one's gonna listen to the last Clash album, and like, and I just know like that's how my brain works, and it's not even about value; it's just this like weird completist thing. So I try to actually avoid collecting things because I know how I get about that.
I
My
completely understand because I'm
my cousin
kind of the same way.
my cousin is a record collector, and he's got thousands of them, right? And
Yeah,
it's one of
yeah,
those
yeah.
where I asked him, I was like, "Do you read all, or do you listen to all these?" And he's like, "I listen to some, but it's more about like what you're talking about. For him, it's like having the being a completist. It's
Yeah.
really interesting. I mean, he's got stuff that like I don't even know if he likes that genre of music. It's just so he can say like I have." I have the entire Nat King Cole collection. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian's a little like that with Turtles a little
I
bit.
am. I have. Well, obviously, I don't have the first printing on a lot of them because those go for a lot of money. But I do have. I'm trying to collect the. I don't know if you remember the Archie Adventures Turtles comics from the
Yeah,
'90s.
those were the cartoon-based ones, right?
Well, they started that way. Like the first like maybe 10 issues were kind of they were doing the cartoon, and then once they ventured into their own thing, some of the best turtle stories out there. But I'm trying to get that entire run. I got about half of it right now.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
I mean, it is cool. Like it, but I just because I feel like it just never ends.
Yeah.
You know, for me, and so
I get it. I had to scale way back because I was just buying books because I was like, oh, this is cool. But it maybe not something that necessarily means anything to me. It just is cool. And so I would buy it. And then, so I had to like really dial it back. So I'm doing like, I'm trying to get that Archie Turtles. And then, you said Jim Lee earlier. Well, Jim Lee's probably my favorite comic artist. And, so I'm trying to find all of the books that he did in interiors for.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've got actually
And
quite a few of those
he
by
should be
now.
pretty easy to collect, I think.
Yeah, none of those books are gonna break the bank, So
Yeah, like you know, my comic shop, there's an X-Men #1 in every
yeah,
grab bag
yep.
that they have. They told me this. They're like, yeah, everyone gets to just pick that.
Yeah,
None of his stuff. It's not like hunting down like talk stuff or whatever.
right,
Uh,
right. I
who,
got his Punisher run is pretty fun. That one's pretty good.
Jesse, I'm sure we talked about this the last time you were on, but it was such a while ago. What were your like big influences to like get you into comics? Like, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I came late um to comics. Like I was as a teenager, I think, when I sort of got like into comics, and it was
Sure.
sort of the first image um moment with Spawn um kind of being like the book that like got me into got me to find out where the comic shops were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
like start like getting a pull list and hunting stuff down. So that was like the those first image that I guess was maybe like sort of first second wave of image. So like
Oh wow.
um Spawn, Gen 13 and Wildcats and
Nice.
all of those were sort of the max too.
Oh,
Um,
the dude, I
the-
forgot about the Max.
yeah, like all those are the ones that sort of like got me drawing and stuff. Um, and then pretty quickly like getting into stuff like Hate and Eight Ball, um, and more sort of indie stuff like Chris Ware at that time too.
Yeah.
Um, just because I don't know, like I loved like the art of a lot of the image stuff, but the stories like uh, didn't- I don't know.
Weren't there
I
for you?
feel like a kid in the '90s, like we have this whole like grunge slacker pseudo punk thing going on, and so hate felt like hate when I read it as a teenager was like these cool adults, like that. I was like, oh, I want to be like Buddy, and then like I read it again when I was like 23, and I was like, oh, I totally did not understand the comic at all. Like these people are so not cool. And I know them. I've been at these parties, it was like sort of this aspirational thing, and then just like a satire of my life. Um,
That's funny. That's cool.
and so those are the ones that sort of like really like I don't know got me drawing and stuff.
Yeah.
And then doing stuff. I feel like I feel like there was a long time where I like sort of ran away from the mainstream. I feel like I don't know how accurate it is, but there's almost like this like a little bit of an anti-craft thing in indie comics where it's like the everything in mainstream comics is like overdone. It's like the drawings are overdrawn, the writing is overwritten, the color is overdone, all of it. And so like indie comics push the other way. But there was like a moment where I was like, no, it's only pretty cool. Like the sort of like appreciation of like the craft and what people are doing sort of clicked in, and like Kirby was a person who I'd never really gotten, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, I get it now. Like, it's weird how like with art you can sort of like with music you can not hear something like and then all of a sudden like you hear it the right day and it's like, oh, I see this. I understand. Now I'm hearing what everybody else is hearing. I don't know why. I cannot understand why I was not hearing what everybody else was hearing. And I think it's sort of the same with sort of like art. It's like, oh, Jack Kirby's the king of comics. Like, I don't know. Like, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Like it clicks, and it's like I don't even know what clicks, but all of a sudden it's just like, oh, I'm seeing all this energy and all these like crazy ideas just like pouring forth on the page. And like I sort of feel like I had like a moment of that like my mid-30s. Because I'm not as I think for a while people thought I was young, and it's like, no, I'm old. Like, well, I think when like Heater came out, they were like, oh, this young guy. It's like, I'm 40. I was 40, like, and so like this sort of this like like rediscovering of like Mobius and stuff, and like sort of
I have to admit,
feeling
it took me
this like
forever
challenge
to get
to
into
draw.
Mobius. Yeah.
You've never gotten into Mobius?
No, it took me forever to get it because I knew that like you talk to these guys that were legends, and you'd ask them like, well, who are you looking at? And they'd be like, oh man, look at this new Mobius collection I got. Isn't it amazing? Or they'd be like, I got to meet Mobius once. And then it took me just so long. And then finally, I don't know, probably a few years ago, it kind of clicked. And I was like, okay, I see it. I see what everybody's seeing. And I think it's just because I've always been such a literalist with everything. Like I take things sometimes a little too seriously. And and for I don't know, his approach to everything it finally like clicked on like why this works and why it's awesome. And now he's like, easily one of my like favorite creators. But I always felt like such an idiot where I was like, oh, this is my deep secret. I don't like Mobius.
I don't know.
When he heard that.
We're now,
sometimes
it just
it's
takes
like,
forever.
I don't know. It's like you're you're looking at the wrong thing or something. Like
Mhm.
it's like you're paying attention. I don't know. It's like you're listening to Led Zeppelin and you're paying attention to the lyrics, and it's like, oh, don't do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna appreciate Led Zeppelin by listening to the words. Like
Right.
you
Right.
appreciate them by listening to the music and the singing and the way he's singing. But if you actually start going into like trying to like parse meaning from these lyrics, it's like, yeah, there's not. You're not going to get much by thinking about a whole lot of love. Like it's
Yeah.
about a whole lot of love. Like like that's not really where the thought is.
Mhm.
And um, like, but if you listen to like the guitar and like what it sounds like and Robert Plant singing and like appreciate it for what it is, I all of a sudden it will like make sense.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like your
Like
mood
or
might play a role in whether you get something at
yeah,
first
that's
or not
true.
too. Yeah, because I've had
Yeah.
that.
Where
I think I was always just, especially with Mobius, I was always just way too like intense, too high
right.
strung to really relax and enjoy it. Like, yeah, it was just, I mean, like everything had to be just balls to the walls. Like,
Yeah.
if it wasn't Simon Beasley or Frank Frazetta, I was like, yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh yeah, like let's tone it down. Come on. Like you don't need to, it doesn't have to be like just heavy metal all the freaking time.
Yeah.
It's cool. I just got to
Yeah.
appreciate we have two Swamp Things in here that are just so wildly different but equally awesome. It's really
Listen,
cool.
I'm just going as fast as I can because this guy is just hammering out legendary stuff over here.
I
I'm
haven't, I
like
haven't actually I haven't looked in a while.
every
Like I
time I
just
glance over,
just
I'm
been
like, oh
trying.
shit, he's so much further. I've only glanced a couple times, and I'm like, oh
And then,
god damn
let-
it,
let-
come on, Dan.
and if we're being honest, this is the fastest you've gone.
Oh,
Period.
by
You
far.
started doing this.
Well, yeah, I've never gone this fast. No.
We did
That's
a,
insane.
Ninja Turtles. He did a Ninja Turtles one that just turned into like a full-on cover. We recorded for over 4 hours
Oh
on that
wow.
one.
Yeah, it was one of those where like I just we just would start talking and I'd get distracted, and then
Yeah.
before I know it, it's like, oh wow, I've done like so little lines because we're like having a stupid debate on I don't know, name it.
Yeah, name it. He likes to rage bait me, is what he does. That's his
I
favorite
do.
thing to do.
Yeah.
Speaking of music, because it sounds like you do listen to quite a bit of music. Um,
Yeah.
like mood does come for me like I have to find a soundtrack for whatever I'm working on. And do you do something like that, or do you just have like your jams that you're like, this is what we're gonna listen to today?
I definitely have soundtrack. Um, I go back and forth. Like I generally with like every project, I just have like a playlist
Mhm.
that it like
Yeah.
I'm I'm just adding music to as I think of it or if I hear it someplace. So um uh but it doesn't really have anything to do with the project. Like it's
Right.
just like oh these are the songs that like came around. So like I watched Alien Earth recently and
Oh,
you know Cherub Rock Smashing Pumpkins song like came up at the end and I hadn't heard it in a really long time. And I was like, oh, that's a good song, and like back up, put on the playlist. Like
that's cool.
it doesn't have anything to do with what I'm drawing or anything.
Yeah.
It's just
Right.
like, oh, that's a song, and I sort of like constantly add to the playlist and stuff as I'm going along.
Now,
Um,
how much yacht
and
rock is on your playlist? That's what I want to know.
I
There it is.
mean, it depends on the playlist. Like Hall and Oates is like the definitive yacht rock, I think, right?
I say they're up there.
Oh,
Doobie Brothers with Michael McDonald, Toto, Christopher Cross, Steely
Okay, very
Dan.
little yacht rock.
I listen to a lot of yacht rock. That's why I was
That's
Little
okay.
River Band. I can go on.
No, I don't think that much yacht rock will make it on. Um, Oftentimes like very like droney sort of music will make it on,
Sure.
or sort of like I think especially for like working like more like techno and
Yeah.
sort of like krautrock, like motoric type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just get on because it's um I don't know, it's just sort of, I don't know, the sound they're drawing is kind of slow and drony.
Sure.
Do you ever do any of
But
like the vaporwave or any of that kind of
yeah,
stuff?
yeah, some of that sometimes.
Yeah, I
Um,
do that a lot.
that I don't I don't know if I've given it a fair shake, but it'll often come across a little blank to me.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
like I keep like I do like I try and draw every day in like a little in comic form in a little sketchbook I have. Um,
Oh,
Try to
nice.
do that as like my first. It's nothing amazing or anything. It's just like, yeah, I try and
I,
do
I I'm
like,
very bad about keeping a sketchbook, so I'm impressed by
yeah, just
anyone
like
who's able to do it.
just make up, a comic sort
Oh,
of on a
cool.
daily basis.
Oh my
Um,
god. Is that how
like
you did that race car
I try
book?
and do like 2 pages a day or so.
Oh,
What? What
you,
book?
you, you did that race car book a while back. I know.
No, no, that one was more finished.
Oh, okay.
Um, than these. These are kind of like just for me,
Yeah.
just sort of like warm up thinking about things.
Sure.
And I basically just listen to LCD Sound System. Like, uh, like for I would say probably it's been like a year and a half. But that's just what I play while I'm working on that.
Oh, that's cool.
It's very
Yeah,
cool.
You you said you watched the new Aliens.
the yeah, Alien. Right?
I've heard that's really
Yeah.
good. I haven't watched it yet.
I liked it a lot.
Okay.
I yeah, I thought it was really good. I was yeah really into it and invested. It does like it is just the first season, and it does like set up for a second season. Um,
Okay.
and I guess so. I'm always like, for me, that's become like, I don't know, I hate it. Like,
Oh, the like the multi season.
Arcs.
well, just like, yeah, great beginning, but I guess I feel like I've been burned. Like,
Yeah.
like Game of Thrones probably being the worst, where it was like,
Yes.
I'm so into this show. I love this show. I'm talking about the show with people at work. I'm watching the show. And then it's like this awful last season. And now I feel like people don't say they even like that show. Like it's
People don't even
because
talk about that
they
show.
don't
It
even
just
talk about it because
died.
it's so scarred by this last
Yeah.
season. And I
Yeah.
feel like Westworld was the same thing. Like I don't even remember if it ended.
I felt that way
Because
about the Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
yeah, yeah, sort of like these shows where like the seasons are years and years apart,
Mm-hmm. The
and
Witcher.
like and they haven't even started shooting Alien or season two, so it's like, oh, it's not going to come out for 2 years or something, and it's just like, yeah, I really would have liked an ending.
Yeah.
I'm a big
like
I'm a big Timothy Oliphant fan, so I need to watch that.
yeah, 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 no, I would say like performances are good, the stories are good, the ideas are good, it looks great, like um it's got a mix of aliens and stuff. It's cool, but it is just season one. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you checked out the new, speaking of aliens, but the new Predator movie, Predator Badlands?
no, I want to.
Oh
Um,
man.
I I do not make it to the movie theater very much. Um,
Yeah.
since I had my daughter, I have seen two movies in
Yeah, I
that.
Now my son is old enough to go to those movies with me. He's 11,
Oh, that sounds
so
cool.
I was
Yeah.
like, Predator Badlands PG-13. You can see that, dude. That movie
Yeah.
rocked. So fun.
Was it good?
Yes, so good. It was.
I loved Prey. I thought Prey was great.
Yeah.
Prey was
Prey
really
was
good.
really great.
And this is and it just even made it a little bit different in Badlands. Well, I won't spoil it for you, but it was a ton of fun. Like the perfect. It's you couldn't ask for like a better popcorn movie, you know?
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Story was great. Acting was really good. Visuals spot on. Everything you want. It was great.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm gonna have to. I never go see anything anymore. I feel like the last couple times I went, it just wasn't a real great experience, and I since then have just not. I don't know. I just haven't really been motivated to go.
It's hard to want to pay that much money because we saw Predator Badlands opening night, and you would think that the folks who go opening night are the ones who are like, "All right, everybody, shut the fuck up! Like, let's watch the movie." That's rarely the case anymore. People be talking throughout the movie, man. Or just it's so irritating.
I feel like we're still like, I don't know, post-pandemic like recovery of things.
Yeah,
where like it's like how to behave in a movie theater, how to behave in public. People have forgotten they were like all used to like watching movies at home, doing 3 different things while we do it, like like checking on your phone, and sort of like just the idea of going to the theater and just being there seems kind of strange, I think, for people still.
Yeah, etiquette. I get that a lot. I mean, I saw the same thing, and I said golf earlier, so I'm going to bring it full circle. But like during the pandemic, what's that?
Do you play golf?
I do. Yeah, because I do. I love it.
You can, don't worry. You can still shit on it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm terrible at it. Don't worry. But like, so many people picked up golf during the pandemic because you're outdoors, you have distance from people. So like the game has really exploded, but now nobody has like etiquette on the golf course, and slow play is a really big problem. So yeah, that's my tangent.
Hey Jesse, not to change the subject just a little bit, but I think one of the things that I noticed on your profile, you list yourself as an internet artist.
No, I don't. Is that Facebook?
I thought I saw somewhere. Maybe it was Facebook. Somewhere I saw something like it was like an on, and I was like, "What? That's weird."
No, I don't.
I'm sorry. Maybe I misread it or something.
Look at you, man.
I know I'm a piece of
shit. I don't know. It's not something I chose to say.
Okay. Well, anyway, I was going to say I was just going to say you do a fantastic job at maintaining your like social media presence. That's something I'm always like impressed with. Is you're always like posting. I'm terrible at it. Do you have like a do you have like a format for yourself, or like I don't know, something to keep you diligent about making sure your work is always getting out there for people to see?
Not, I guess there was a time, I think, where like I decided I wanted to do like Instagram well, and I sort of to some extent almost like treated it like a tool of like post this, how did people respond to that, like, oh, nothing, no response to that, and then okay, I post this, oh, people did respond to this, what was it in this that people responded to that maybe they didn't respond to the other, like this sort of thinking about it and caring about it. And I don't really do that anymore. I don't.
You're pretty busy these days.
I'm just too busy to like pay attention. But I did sort of just develop this thing of like, I'm gonna try and post every day, Monday through Friday. If I'm good, on Friday, I will just, I guess, plan like what I will post the next week, which is not
Okay.
like it. Plan is like with no strategy, but just be like
Sure.
Monday, what is it? Like, oh, this commission I never posted. Like Tuesday, like because if I try and think about it on Monday, like
Yeah.
I won't have an idea. And so just like take like a few minutes and be like, okay, I'll post this um this thing that I did or whatever. Um, if there's news that I'm gonna have to post, like cover or something, it's like, okay, I'll post them. Like I just sort of, I don't know, take 10 minutes maybe,
Yeah.
if I'm good and do that. Um, that's
Nice.
kind of about it, I think. In terms of
I'm so
posting.
bad about that stuff. I'm always impressed by guys who just are able to make the time to post. Not that I don't have the time. I always forget, and I'm not a big
Yeah.
internet guy, so it's kind of one of those things where I'm like,
You use Instagram strictly to send me reels.
yes,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. It's
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, that's how my wife uses Instagram as well. Reels of like babies and stuff doing like cute things or whatever.
I do not
Um,
send cute things at all.
no,
oh no.
no.
I send a lot of debauchery.
Yep.
I will,
Okay.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I think it sort of comes from that period where I was like, okay, I want to get good at this, and I feel like Instagram has probably gone through like a number of evolutions since then.
Yeah.
Where like now I think it really has moved um towards it is reels now. Like I think the majority of things on Instagram is video. Like it video is as a medium, I just feel like it's hard to argue with that. Like
Yeah.
I don't mean that it's better or anything. It's just like, well, there's stuff moving and there's sound. Like it's gonna suck attention just because I don't know, like watch any child looking at a screen. It's like, oh yeah, that's grabbing their attention, like
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
viciously. And sort of it's just it's not like adults are immune to that. And so like I feel like I don't know what kind of return you can get out of Instagram for like static visual art.
Mhm.
Now I feel like when I did become interested in it, it's such a different sort of climate on all social media, but like
Yeah.
Instagram in particular. Um, so I just sort of post out of habit, but
Do you
I don't
still
know how
do
much it matters.
didn't you have like a T Public or a Redbubble
I
shop?
do. It still exists. Um,
Okay.
it it like that like boomed in like late 2020
Mm.
Yeah.
through like 2022 maybe, where it was like, oh, this is a lot of sales coming this way, but then I would say sort of 2023 it it changed, and it just it I paid attention then because it's like, oh, I'm making money this way.
Sure.
Sure.
But now it's like, oh, there's not really that much money. Like nothing I do seems to affect the sales. Um, so I don't really pay that much attention to it, but it's still good. Um,
Yeah, I feel
I
like all that
still,
stuff is kind of like you said with the changes of the internet.
Mhm.
I feel like some of that stuff is kind of because like we went through a phase where we were weirdly selling quite a bit of merch for the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yep.
Where
Mhm.
we were like surprised, like what people actually want to wear this? Okay.
yeah,
And now it's like, oh, I mean, we so rarely get sales. It's
Mhm.
like we don't even think about it anymore. We'll post stuff in there, and if people want to do it, they do. But
And
occasionally,
if you do want to do that, just go to tpublic.com and type in Blue Tiger Podcast and it'll pop right up, folks.
yeah. No, I think there's potentially a lot of things that have changed. You know,
Yeah,
economy, definitely is one of
sure.
them, and I think that has an effect on how much people are willing to spend on like silly t-shirts.
Sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yep.
you know,
These-
like uh,
definitely.
uh, I feel like maybe also like the that time that I said is good is like pandemic time. It's like people are just sitting at home, like looking
Yeah,
online, you know, like what can I find online? Like I can remember like getting like like obsessed with guitar pedals during the pandemic. And
Okay.
oh,
like I didn't buy that many, but I do say that sentence, I didn't buy that many. But I was
That
like
means you bought a
watching,
lot.
you know, like but I was like watching all these like guitar pedal reviews and like things people were like, you know, like
Oh yeah.
all these sorts of things. And it's like, and since that sort of time has come to an end, it's like, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. Like it's just like, and so I feel that that's probably part of it too. Um,
sure.
a mix of things. I don't know, or maybe you know enough people bought shirts with a panda dressed as a shark, and they just don't need that shirt anymore.
True.
I think I know
Yeah.
my sister bought one of your shirts.
A lot of people that that drawing is so far away the most popular thing I've ever done. Like
Really?
the oh yeah, thousands of shirts. Like
Wow.
like like if I like it's going to conventions and just selling that sticker and selling it and selling it. Like it would be all I would do at a convention and like selling prints of it. Like it, I don't know. It just,
Did it,
yeah.
at any point did that bother you? Because you're like making these amazing like
Yeah.
comics and you're doing these groundbreaking like layouts and stuff, and then people are buying the panda shark thing.
Um,
Was that ever
I
frustrating?
mean,
Like, I'm just curious.
no, I think at the time I drew it, like when I say like I was sort of studying, it's like I was sort of like on Instagram being like, oh, this thing really hits. Like
Oh, okay.
why is this one like the one that clicks and like
Yeah.
this other thing is not the one that clicks and like you know so it doesn't bother me
Yeah,
like it's like I I sort of get why people respond to it in a way they don't necessarily respond to other things and it's you know in some ways it's like why the people, maybe not so much anymore, 'cause maybe it's tired out, but like the visual mashup people at convention
Hmm.
who are
yeah, yeah,
who are um selling like I don't know, Calvin and Hobbes only it's Han Solo and Chewbacca and
Right.
it's like you know, it's like Chewie and Han or something like that, and it's in the same like sort of font as Calvin and Hobbes. Like,
yeah,
yeah, they're gonna sell a ton of those because like you look at it, you got it, you you understood, you know you like it, gonna
Right.
buy it. Well, like you know this like 300-page, 3 pound book. Look at it, I'm like, I don't know what this is. This is there's
yeah.
no words like you know like
Like
I don't
I gotta
know.
lug this thing around the rest of the day.
I gotta put this in like you know like so I don't I feel there's just sort of like it's a panda. That's a shark. Like, I got it. Like, it clicks in like my scroll down like Instagram. It's like, okay, oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
like
great.
some like you know thoughtful like careful rendering of a lake. Like, yeah, whatever. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's just the nature of. I don't even know if it's the medium. It's just like what clicks and what doesn't.
Yeah, it's such a weird phenomenon. I imagine there's going to be sociologists years from now that are going to do like full on theses trying to like dissect like the the attention aura of the internet, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like what makes like memes work? Why this
yeah.
meme hit? Why this meme maybe did not hit?
Yeah,
Um,
because you see people, right? Like they'll have something blow up
Hmm.
massive, and then they'll
yeah,
be like, well, "This is what I do now. I figured it out," and then nothing else ever really
nothing
kind
they
of
do.
Yeah.
clicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I years ago when I was right out of school, I did this painting. It was one of those like assignments that I had to knock out. I didn't really think about it, and I just did it to get it done so I could move on with my life. And for years, that was the only thing I would sell.
Mhm.
I'd sell 20 prints of it or license it or something for the next like I don't know, probably 5 years. It
Mhm.
was so, and we could not figure it out like why, because it wasn't really that good. But out of everything in my portfolio, that was the thing that people would gravitate towards, and it
Mm.
it really drove me crazy because I was like, it's not even good.
You're like, I
Like
hate it.
yeah. I was like, it was me doing like a really bad version of Mignola, like it was just like
Mhm.
we had, yeah, but I mean, there's a bar down in like I think South Carolina that's got like a 20-foot print of it on the wall. Like
Which one is this? I know you've told me, but which?
it was called the Banjo. And it was like a skeleton, like an old like 1920s banjo player wearing like a suit, like New Orleans style.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, and for some reason like that, I don't know why. But it really drove me crazy because I tried doing something in that style a few more times. Nobody cared,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was just a weird anomaly, but it paid my rent a bunch of times. Like, there's a few months where it paid the rent, so
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
can't really knock it. I was like, okay, yeah, um, yeah. You mentioned. Do you look at a lot of film? Is that a big inspiration for you? Just I know we've mentioned like aliens and stuff.
Um,
D-
definitely. Yeah, I watched a lot of movies. I don't know, and I feel sometimes like the influence of like movie shots maybe
Mhm.
is sort of a thing of like I feel people talk about like I put down a lot of panels. Um, but like part of it is sort of like I think of the movement of film and like so like oh this panel should be followed by this panel and sometimes I feel that influence is more of a film influence than necessarily like a
Oh,
comic
interesting.
influence.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't
Did you
think I
ever do
really
like storyboarding or anything like that?
no. I just like movies.
Yeah.
Um, like and so I feel yeah, I like watched a ton, but I don't go to them
Yeah.
really much now, like for how things are done. Um, just because I guess like where my interest has gone is sort of very much like a very graphic direction that I
Hmm.
feel sort of movies can't go. Um,
Sure.
so
Yeah.
I'm more interested in like maps.
Did you say math?
It's like maps.
Maps. Okay, yeah.
Like I'm
That
like,
makes perfect
oh,
sense.
this map organizes this information in a very, very cool way. Like, like a subway map, I think is cool because it's like it's a it's removed a lot of the times from geography. Like it doesn't that's
Yeah,
like all of the stops because who cares how far apart they are when you're on the subway?
sure.
Like so they're all equidistant, on the line map. And I find like when you're sitting on the subway, like you
Yeah,
look at like, oh, where am I? And it's like, oh, it's 5 stops from here. And it's like those stops are not equidistant, but on the map, because it's not important, they are equidistant. And so like I'm like, that's an interesting way of using information. And like, you know, the some of the maps where it's like all squared and nice and like totally understandable. I'm like, that's a cool way because and it's like they've decided this information is not important information.
Yeah.
They don't
Interesting.
include it, and so I feel like I'm more interested in stuff like that than
Okay.
film because
I mean, is
film
that some of the
can't
stuff you
really do
bring
that.
over into your work? Is the map stuff like some of the map? Because I know you use
I
a
think
lot of like
of
real interesting grids and things like that.
yeah, I think about yeah, like how like a map can organize information or convey information, and sort
Yeah.
of maybe how that could be done within a comic. Um, I think sort of similarly,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
or like like I don't know, like star charts or whatever, like um, like the just the way things can be organized visually to convey information. Like
Yeah.
but like how like a newspaper works, I think is
Oh, yeah, yeah,
sort of
yeah.
interesting. Like that you look at like the front page of a newspaper and it's like, you've been trained. I mean, if you're my age, you've been trained. Maybe,
Right.
maybe young people look at them and are totally baffled, but like
I
you've
mean,
got
I'm
like,
sure there's some young people don't even know what a newspaper is at this point. It's like some relic.
That's true.
um, but like that that there's all these different stories on one page and all this different information, but it's totally clear.
Yeah.
And so I think like, so to me, I'm like, oh, on a comic page, you can just have like a page, two panels off to the side that have nothing to do with the rest of it. Like, and as long as you make those panels distinct in some way, it's
Hmm.
okay. And like
Yeah.
people will understand it and sort of like thinking, thinking about how you can play with space sort of from more of like a other graphic sort of sense. Um,
Okay.
I mean, movies are great, I think, for um, costumes and uh, stuff like that. But I
Yeah.
just find sort of movies rely on things that you don't have in comics, um, like sound. Um,
Yeah. Right.
Hmm.
like it's. I always find it funny when people like say like, "Oh yeah, you did that silent comic." It's like they're all silent. Like, like it's wordless. But like, um, and I feel I find film is so reliant on sound, and since it's one of the tools, it should be.
Right.
Um, but like also they're so reliant on how long uh a shot is shown, which is
Yeah.
also like a thing in comics you just don't have. So like we were talking about Alien, like there's there's shots in the first Alien movie that are like quarter of a second. Like there's like a flash of the alien where you see his face for the first time, and I
Right.
think it's so fast and it's gone. Like
Right.
Yeah.
and like it's like, wait, what was that? Like, oh my God. Like it has
Yeah.
this
You can't do
impact.
that in comics.
You
You
can't
you
do
can
that in
try.
comics. Like it's it's not gonna work like that.
Oh,
If you're gonna do that in comics, it's like, well, you can't show everything.
Right.
Like you cannot show a head-on shot of a full body the way they do in Alien. It's like you have to show like a sliver or something like you have to do something else because
I,
you don't have that time option. And so like I guess I might think like, oh, how can I get that effect? But
right.
it's very abstract and it generally involves like
I feel
thinking.
like I mean, just because I've been freelancing for a really long time, and I'll do occasionally like I'll get comic projects that are written by filmmakers, and
Oh,
that's one
okay.
of those
Hmm.
things that
Red
that
flag.
yeah, it's one of those where it's like, well, I have to take this. We need the cash, uh,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that always kills me is it's always that kind of stuff, and that's the stuff that I know I'm going to end up having a Zoom meeting or a bunch of emails back and forth because they're not going to understand that. I know you think this is just a flash, like, ooh, we're just giving them a taste, but like you said, like, uh, we don't control how
Well,
long the reader is looking at it. Like, it doesn't work, you know?
yeah, there's, I mean, all of those things, like, I feel like you'll just hear things and it's like, yeah, that doesn't work in comics. Like, we'll do a
Yeah.
tracking shot, like, down the city street. Like, no, no, you won't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we don't have cameras and the panels are static.
Right.
So you can ask me to draw the street 4 different times. Um, and
Oh
we can take
gosh.
a whole page doing that, but it's really boring. Like,
So boring.
but you
So
know what I
boring.
mean? It is just
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, because that's not something actually like comics do. It's like
We-
quick pan. It's like, nope.
Yeah, Tad and I have had that conversation for the project that we're working on, that we wrote together. He was like, "You can't. That doesn't work. You can't write that."
Yeah, Brian got into a film program,
Mhm.
but um it was one of those where it's like, Brian's got kids and a family and a mortgage, so going to film school wasn't. So I was like, well, why don't we just like write a comic together, and that way you can kind of like fit that, like fill that need to make a story. And yeah, it was kind of that was kind of the fun part is I mean, it was just because he never,
I
Brian, you
didn't
never done
know.
it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, but it was fun watching you like, oh yeah, well, I solved all the problems. And then you'd
You're
get
like,
like
you
this.
fucking made them all worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of fun. Are you doing a lot of writing now?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I mean,
No?
I write my own stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm always working on like a personal project. So I guess I write that.
Like for
The
DROME, did you end up writing that as like a script at one point, or were you just like
oh
going
no,
for
no,
you just
no.
going?
I don't really write scripts
Okay.
for my own stuff. Um, I think sometimes I will. Mainly what I'll do is probably like um break down how many pages I have to play with and
Oh, interesting.
what are the events that need to occur on those pages, and then which page do they occur on. But I generally don't.
Yeah.
I think with like what I'm interested in doing in comics, the ideas are very much sort of visually driven,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I feel like I can't write them. Like
Oh,
it can
interesting.
only
Okay.
be it like ideas for like layouts and stuff. It's like I can't lay out a page in words. I need to be like looking at it and diagramming and breaking stuff up into grids and stuff. Um, so
That I
I
would
don't
imagine
really,
too. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, no. So I don't really write like page one, panel one, or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's more
I
like
was.
page one, something happened.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I actually have like, this is probably not a great example, but like I'm actually working on is this showing up? Yeah. On a comic with the panda shark as the main character. And this is like
Nice.
script for
Very
all of
smart.
these too. So like page one, egg crack, two, torture, three, torture dig, because that's all I need to know. Like,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
then it goes to 24 at the end. Um, because that's all I need to know. And since I'm going to be drawing it and coloring, doing everything, I don't think I need much
Yeah,
more.
and that one, I mean, I don't know about you, but like when I did that, my dinosaur book, because it was all silent, right? It was all visual.
Mhm.
I didn't want to give myself any real visual direction, like, because I knew, like, I had to have a script for the publisher, but it was kind of one of those where, like, I didn't want to make decisions that now that I know that I'm probably not going to want to make, a
Mhm.
month, 2 months down the road when I get to these pages, because I'm hoping that, I've grown a bit, or maybe I'll have some more sporadic idea. Sometimes there's the same idea that you know how you visualize the page in your head when you're kind of making your notes for it. But yeah, I think that's the way to do it. And that way, kind of, you get to go in it like spontaneous and fresh.
Yeah, and like I always just sort of like, if I change my mind, I'll just change my mind. And also, like, if I'm not happy with the page, I'll just draw it again. Like I think maybe I've been a little spoiled, but like I I can work on a paying job and then work on my own stuff. And so like with my own stuff, I don't really worry. I'm just like, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna do it, and maybe I'll self-publish it. Maybe I'll find someone who'll publish it for me. But they can see it when it's done.
Right.
I mean, I think that's the way to do it, man. I love that. I love
Um,
that.
so like with Drome, like, I did it on Patreon and sort of, put up a couple pages a week for, 4 years or so. And
Yeah.
I've finished it. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. But I was like considering self-publishing it, considering maybe doing it with like Image. But then I got connected with my agent, and he was like, "Oh, we can definitely get a publisher for this," and got it to First Second 23rd Street.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
I'm
so
curious.
but it was done when they got it.
Yeah.
Like there was no like script pages for them to express opinions about. Like,
Yeah.
It's a good move, man. That's the move to do.
Right.
well, it's also like, I just feel like with what I'm interested about comics, it's like, I don't think comics have to be just where my brain goes. Is like, they're very visual, and it's kind of like describing what a song sounds like to describe like what my comics are like. Because it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's about this guy who like likes a girl, and it's like, yeah, I think you're missing a whole lot of love,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
describe the narrative of it, because it's not really about that, like.
No.
And also, just for the record, it's not like Whole Lot of Love. It's one of my favorite songs of all time or anything.
Okay.
No,
It's
but
just,
it's a very good example.
it just comes up, and I'm like, everybody knows this song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and so I feel like a script wouldn't mean anything to anyone else. Yeah.
So I'm curious, when you work with a writer, because we've always talked about how your layouts are so great, but also like really different than what you see from really anybody else. Do they put layouts down for you of where they want stuff, or do they just kind of like, hey, here's what we want on the page, we'll let you figure that out?
No, that's a great question. That's a really good
Yeah,
question.
they generally when I've worked with a writer, for the most part, like, it's been sort of a standard script form where it's, page one, panel one, generally 5 or 6 panels per page. But also, I think I was lucky because I came to people's attention with like Hydra, and it's like this weird anomaly book. So most of the writers who I've worked with have sort of had that in their mind, and I'm like, can I add panel? Like,
Yeah.
I check. And
Yeah, I think
they
it would be
seem
weird
pretty
if
cool
I think
with
it'd be
that.
strange if a writer came to you and they were being very like precious with their layout compositions, because I mean, like,
Yeah,
that's what you do
I
so
think,
well. You're so good at doing interesting layouts.
Yeah.
but also, I think it's funny, but I think it's entirely possible to write a page without considering layout. Like,
Sure. Yeah,
I
definitely.
and I'm not saying that this is how the writers I work with work. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, someone could tell you it's like 6 panels per page, and so you just write 6 panels, and you don't really think in terms of wide panel, tall panel, or anything like that. You just write 6 panels, and
Yeah.
also I think it's possible, like you were saying with tracking shots, it's possible to write things that are impossible to draw. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like and I think, like, most of the writers I've worked with are very experienced, so they don't necessarily, they have a familiarity and this understanding. But like when you talk about those um
Oh,
the
like the film
scripts
guys.
from
Yeah.
film people, they will write things that are impossible. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can't do that. There's no way for me to show like a text message on a phone in a guy sitting in the center of a crowd of a football field where there's 100 fans around him. Like, and
Also,
show
it's
a
a
text
pullback
message.
shot.
It's
It's a
it's like
pullback
like
wide angle.
you can't show something that small and that
No.
big
Right.
in one drawing on a standard, 7-inch wide comic book page. Like,
Oh,
and I feel like that's like just like a writing side, and so like the layout side is just a very different side.
Sure.
And
yeah.
so I've always like checked, to be like, hey, is it cool if I add panels? And I think writers don't care as long as you don't take anything away. Um,
Yeah.
Sure.
and so, I sort of, work from the script and just try to do what I think works works best on the page. Um,
Yeah. That's great.
like the series that is coming out with Mignola, which comes out in December, like that was really pretty Marvel method where he just wrote, he broke down maybe like the first 4 pages of each issue.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, nice.
but then after that, it was just paragraphs, um, describing the action, like 3 or 4 paragraphs. And then I just sort of
Oh, that's
divided,
great.
divided the action up
Okay.
as I felt
That's great,
like,
though. I mean, that's.
What
I think if you're like a real like, I think if you're a real artist where you like having that that ability to play, like that's the perfect type of script for you. Like
yeah,
that's like my dream script right there. If
yeah.
I'm being 100% honest with
so
myself.
can you dive into that book a little bit, because December's coming up pretty quick. I want the Tiger
Yeah.
Cub to go to their comic shop and find that book.
Yeah, it's called Miss Truesdale and the Rise of Man. It's a sequel to the series they did, Miss Truesdale and the Fall of Hyperborea, um, which in that series, basically this Victorian bookkeeper sort of starts remembering past lives and realizes she was this like gladiator in ancient Hyperborea. Um,
Cool.
and sort of the two beings become merged, and a lot of other things happen, but if people haven't read it, I'll just leave it at that. Um,
Perfect.
and so the this new series picks up with this gladiator character with this mind of a Victorian woman inside of her, sort of wandering through these unexplored parts of the ancient Hellboy universe, and uh, coming into conflict with uh, a mysterious force that has been present throughout the Hellboy universe.
Awesome.
Um, yeah,
Dude, that sounds
it's a
really
lot of
cool.
fun. Yeah,
What was it like working with Mignola? I know that's kind of a bit of a fanboy question, but I
no,
think if I'm being honest, but I mean, I think most I don't think it's crazy to say that most professionals dream of like working with like guys like Mignola at some point in their career.
yeah,
Um, what was that like?
it was like the first time around. It was like very. He is like the nicest guy, and no, like totally unintimidating and totally supportive and totally friendly. Like
Yeah.
but he's still like Mike Mignola. So like I was like very nervous at the beginning.
Dude,
Um,
I would have been a mess.
yeah, like it, and then there's things that are still weird of like I have to draw Hellboy sometime, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna have to send this drawing of Hellboy to Mike Mignola, like, and and I gotta make sure I really draw Hellboy right, like,
Yeah.
but like he doesn't put any of that pressure on you, like, he's not like draw Hellboy right,
Sure.
and like,
Yeah.
Don't fuck
he
this
doesn't
up.
do anything
Yeah.
like that. He's like, draw Hellboy however you want to draw Hellboy.
That's so cool.
So, um, it's really, like he. I feel like he's so comfortable, in what he does and how he does it that it's kind of intimidating because it's him. But once I sort of got past that, just like kind of a breeze, kind of like
That's
Yeah.
great.
fun project to work on.
Very
I mean,
cool.
that's how it should be, right? Like when you're working on something like that, it should be fun. It shouldn't be like this super stressful experience. I mean,
Yeah,
that's how
yeah,
I think. Like, I mean, it's comic. I mean, we're making comics at the end of the day, right? Like,
yeah,
it is stressful, but there should be an element of fun. It should be fun. You
yeah.
know, we're getting to tell stories to entertain people.
Right.
All right, how's your Swamp Thing? Let's see. You
Yeah,
got a
oh,
little
we
bit more.
see it.
You got-
They're both really cool.
Let's see. Oh, look at that! Look at us.
Maybe I'm
Look at
gonna
us.
stop and turn my camera so I can see. Um,
Oh,
do you want
okay.
me to? Do you want to stop recording or?
Yeah, let's do it. We'll take a
Okay.
quick break, and we'll be back.
Yeah.
Check 1, 2. Tiger milk! Tiger milk! I like tiger milk! Give us some more of that, please! Tiger milk!
We're back from our quick break. I am gonna keep drawing
Yeah.
just because I'm still playing catch up here.
Yeah,
But,
slow motherfucker.
No. Everybody's helping out real fast. But,
Bry, you know what time it is.
Do you want me to do the megaphone?
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay.
Jesse, if this is terrible, I apologize.
okay.
All right, how's that? We got the megaphone.
Do
Ladies
it.
and gentlemen, it is time for the question.
I think that's terrible. I don't know if I'm ever do it again, but I might keep doing it. We'll see. So Jesse, the question follows is this. Is something we ask every guest who comes on the show. So we've asked you this before.
You've asked me this twice before, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Again.
So given the opportunity, if there is any character, property, book, movie, show that you could make a comic out of, what would you do?
Let's see. I feel that changes.
Yeah.
But RoboCop would be pretty cool.
Ooh,
Which,
yeah.
what? Say that again.
RoboCop.
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
hell yeah.
RoboCop would be a lot of fun. It's one of my like favorite movies.
Would you, if you did RoboCop, would you want to go like old school 80s RoboCop, or would you want like one of these new iterations?
No, old school
Hell
80s,
yeah. Detroit.
clumsy,
Yeah.
slow moving. Yeah. No, the first RoboCop movie I kind of think is perfect.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that would be up there. I think that'd be the one.
That's a good one. That's a good
That's a
answer.
great one.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Um,
first RoboCop we've ever gotten too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. There's other ones. There's like, I don't know, things that I think would be cool to do, but I don't know. Like I mentioned, Metamorpho or Deathlock or Deadman. Like those are ones I think would be a lot of fun to do.
Mhm.
But I don't.
I'd love to see you do Deathlock, man. I think you would destroy a
Yeah,
Deathlock.
Deathlock would be a lot of fun. I think some people they've got their bucket list of people they want to draw, and I'm like, yeah, not really. Like,
Yeah.
don't you want Batman? It's like, no, not really. Like part of me as a kid is like, yeah, Batman, but part of me is like, there's so much Batman now. I
Yeah.
really
People are
don't
like,
think I have
just give me a
anything to
cover,
add
right?
to Batman.
Yeah.
In fact, I think a moratorium on Batman would probably do the world a lot of good. Of just no, we're gonna take 2 years, no Batman.
God, can you
And
imagine the
then we'll come
sales?
back fresh with ideas. The sales when they came back.
Oh, they'd be insane.
Could
Yeah,
buy Jim Lee's X-Men for being the number
yeah.
one selling comic of all time.
Yeah,
That would make a cake.
But yeah, RoboCop.
RoboCop. That is
Love
a
that.
solid answer.
Yep.
It looks so great. I love that old costume. Yeah, there's only been the one new movie, right? Is there something else recently?
God,
I think it's just. I think it's
just
that movie.
And then all
Yeah.
all the sequels, I get. Didn't they try and do a TV
Yeah.
show too for a brief
Yeah,
hot
they
second?
did. Yeah, they did a TV show. No, I mean nothing's as good as that first one.
No.
The TV show I think is not as bad as everyone says it is, but
I
don't
don't
even.
even.
definitely not good.
Yeah. I don't know if I've seen it. That's crazy. Because I watch all those bad old TV shows. I've never seen that.
I think it's streaming somewhere. Maybe I don't know. I feel like there's those things that just rotate around. Like James Bond's on all the James Bond movies are on Prime right now, and then 6 months later, it's all the James Bond movies have moved to Netflix, and then they moved to Hulu, and then they moved back to Prime. It's just so I feel like I watched them streaming somewhere recently, but then a couple of years.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, of course you're gonna take a long time, man. Look,
I know.
you're putting down blacks.
I know.
Why are you using such a tiny brush? Where's your baseball bat?
I don't have.
You gotta get the big brush.
I know.
You're
right. You're right.
Yeah,
This is why we have you on the show.
Of course, it's gonna take you forever to do that. Why don't you start doing the black to the micron or something?
Yeah. You know what though? I love the look of when you have a big black area and you hit it real sloppy with the little brush, and then you get all those little nicks of white in there. I love the look of it. It's not practical. It's a giant waste of time.
Are you saying that's a bigger brush?
It's the biggest one I have in front of me.
Did you look at that? Look at this thing. This is what you should be using. You should be using a flat.
Let me look if I have one. Oh, I do. Oh my God. God, I'm an idiot.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
You're right. Watch this.
This is amazing.
Oh!
Oh my God. You were going to be doing that for an hour.
Yeah. Oh, look at the texture too. Oh,
you were giving him gray hairs from all the stress.
I know. I already have so many.
You came on this podcast thinking it was going to be a chill experience, and no, I have to make it weird.
I'm sorry. If you really enjoy using the little brush,
I do. It's a weird
to
thing.
black a large area.
I love the texture that you get with these little nicks, these imperfections, and but it takes forever. Forever.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, while you're finishing that paint job up, why don't I take us home?
Take us home, man. Take us home.
All right, Tiger Cubs. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this, please subscribe. We appreciate it. It goes a long ways. If you want more, you can find us on the home of Blue Tiger Revenge. the virtual tiger den, as I'm going to call it, and that's our website, bluetigerrevenge.substack.com. If you subscribe, we'll send you get updates every time we post a new episode. So that's the place to be. And then also, Jesse, want to thank you so much for coming on, man. Where can the Tiger Cubs find you at?
Social media wise, I'm probably most active on Instagram. But I'm also on Blue Sky and Facebook at Jesse Lonergan. Got my website, jesselonergan.com, which has, all the information stuff. I don't know when this will come out. In 2 weeks, I'll be in
Next week.
Boston. Okay. Yeah, I'll be December 6th and 7th. I'll be in Boston at the Massachusetts Independent Comic Expo. So if you're in that area, come say hello.
Perfect. And then when does your new comic come out with Mignola in the Hellboy universe?
That comes out. Yeah, so Miss Truesdale on the Rise of Man comes out December 10th. December 10th. And DROME is out now and available in bookstores and all over the place.
Except for bookstores in Alaska. I checked the last 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been looking for it, and I was like, well, I could order it online. Probably won't get here in time. I almost borrowed David Harper's because he was like, well, if you can't find it, let me know. And then I was like, I'll just read it. So I haven't read it yet. I apologize.
Okay.
But I'm going to.
No.
It's on top of my
mine
list.
is on order right now as well. I'm waiting for it to come in. So I'm excited about it though.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Guys.
Yeah, thanks again for doing this, man. This was so much fun. Our first. This is the first dual draw. This is the first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, Tad. Well, that was all that I had. Do you have anything else?
I'm still whittling away at that big ink area with my little brush. So no.
All right. Well, if that's the case, what time is it?
Hit the music.